Hello and welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the lovely Ms. Jo Fallak.
Hi.
The handsome Mr. Justin Thomas James.
Well, I got wine.
And the one and only Mr. Delbo.
I think that's me.
And we're with the Polyps Rose 6. That's right. Welcome to the INVICTUS stream. It's, of course, Wednesday night, the night where we get together and we stream Ripigas for you fine people. So thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you're having fun. This is, of course, session 6 of Apocalypse World. We were meant to go to 10, but I don't know. We kind of have a nice little possible ending here tonight. It sounds like everything is culminating into a climax, and I'm thinking that if it ends tonight, then who knows? We gotta have its natural end, you know, a little bubble and squeak or whatever they call it. It doesn't make any sense. Little bow on top of this apocalyptic sandwich. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. You can do that by pressing the thumbs up button.
Ding ding.
If you are watching this on Mixer, what is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
Mixer. Is that a dating? What's that a dating app?
It's a dating app.
MXR.
If you're watching this on the dating app Mixer, call me. But don't. And also,
remember when you posted your phone number accidentally on a gaming stream and some random people started calling you?
Yeah, no. I'm not going to do that again. Which reminds me, I was thinking about doing maybe a spooky stream this weekend. Should we?
Do it.
Because we have Friday and Saturday night, I think.
Ooh, what game? What are you going to play?
Do we have Friday and Saturday? The Beast Within. It was a demo we played a long time ago, Joe and I. It was terrifying. And I was thinking the two of us, well, the community is one entity.
Right.
Should play again.
I'm probably going to be super exhausted on Friday night.
So definitely.
So if you wanted to do that with the community and I will be in bed, that would be cool.
That's too spooky.
Or just be super blasé about everything. Whatever. I don't care. Just jump down.
Fine. Shush.
And it is the season of spooks.
The basement.
I don't care.
And it is the season of spooks. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I might do one this weekend. But anyway, please like the video if you're watching it. If you are not part of the Facebook group, please join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is where we get together and we have such a gaff. All the goofs and gaffs and all the chuckles.
Justin, are you okay?
What?
Sporks. Am I okay? I'm trying
Justin
to.
is.
I'm trying to get this sticker off the bottom of my wine glass.
Okay.
Do it when
Really
it's full.
Irritating.
Well, challenge mode, right? Like it would be easy to do it when it wasn't full, but of course we're on stream. He's got to go next level shit. Showing up, and here we're
in front of a live audience.
Keep jumping too.
Like, look at that.
Wait, hold on. I have sound effects.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Still more.
That is a good thing. So yeah, if you what was I talking about? Facebook stuff. Oh, if you are not part of the Facebook group, please make sure you join the Facebook group. It's where we get together and we have all the fun in the world. Also, when you're part of the Facebook group, you have a chance to win the most valuable post. The most valuable post is the post of the week that we distinguish amongst the rest. And we say, you done good. Are you putting it back on or is there another sticker?
No, I prematurely ripped.
Sorry.
Well, there we go.
It was a bit premature.
I got it off now.
That's okay. It's good that you got it off.
Oh.
If you are part of the Facebook group, you get to be distinguished amongst the rest. And I would like to give MVP this week to the lovely and talented Mr. Dan Scott.
Dan Scott. Haven't heard that name before.
Now, a lot of you might wonder, who is Dan Scott? Now, Dan Scott is someone who just recently joined the Facebook group and has yet to post. So you might ask yourself, well, why the heck is he getting most valuable posts? Well, here's why. Some of you may know that every time a new person joins the group, I tag them in a post and I welcome. This is something I've always done and I will continue to always do because I love you. Mwah. But when Dan joined, unfortunately, and this is not at all a detriment to him or his name, but Dan Scott was too common of a name that no matter how many times I tried to type it out to tag him, it would not tag Dan Scott. I was meant to go to my computer and tag him in a post, but I forgot to. Unfortunately, I think Dan has noticed this because he posted 20 minutes ago and said, "Thanks for the ad," with a nice little wave.
Aww.
being the only person that was never given the chance
Dan.
to have that moment. So, because of my folly and because I already love Dan as a person and as a watchdog, I'm going to give Dan Scott Most Valuable Post this week.
Yay.
It's a good post.
Everyone flock there and give him your best.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of Dan
please.
Scott love right effing now. I also wanted to have a chance to explain why Dan didn't get that, so I hope that gave me a platform in which to explain. A lot of stuff coming up. Extra Life is coming up November the 1st. Looks like I'm going to be doing all 24 hours by myself because Joe might be working.
I'll be there for some of that.
Sorry, some of it. I mean to say, but there will be times where I'm alone, so I'm going to need some people to hang out with me. So if you don't have anything to do November 1st or 2nd, please let me know. We will be ending the night with, hopefully Rob and Justin are still in. We're going to figure that out. Good. At the very least, Rob will be there, I can tell. And Justin nodded, so I think he's in too. And I'm excited because I am going to be very tired. I'm already tired. I'm tired all the time.
Dad life. Hashtag.
Dad life. Hashtag. So yeah, Extra Life. If you would like to donate, the link is in the description of some video. It's not this one. You'll find it. Thank you for that.
I think we made this joke last time where we were like, you have to go on like a whole internet scavenger hunt in order
I'm so
to find a
bad,
link to
honestly.
donate
I can't
to
even
this.
pronounce terrible right. Anyway, so that's that, and I appreciate it. However, one of the things I'd also like to mention, and we're very excited to talk about, is Dice Shame. As some of you know from last week, Dice Shame is our brand new podcast that is starting on October 31st. First episode, maybe a little bit more, will be released on that date. We also have a promotion that has been released, and I think we should start the stream off before jumping into Apocalypse World for the people that are awake and here. So I'm going to jump to it in a second. But I would like to tell you that if this is something that you would like to follow us on, it is, of course, the lovely Joe, Justin, Rob, myself, and Brother Alex are all on this zany little podcast.
Brother Alex.
Brother Alex. Deo gracia.
Bless Brother Alex.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So please join the Facebook group. It is Dice Shame. And you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of jazz. It's going to be fun, guys. And if you don't believe me, why don't you check out this short promo trailer to get you all hyped up for October 31st. Here it is.
Oh, boy.
Dice Shame.
There is a warg that is snarling at you.
I snarl back.
Okay.
Another situation where I'm on the ground.
When you're lying on the ground bleeding out, you don't make so many rolls.
Is this a joke? And I kick the door in.
Oh, come here, you silly dwarf. With a natural one!
Oh my god!
Roll for initiative. Dun, 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 dun.
Go.
Fuck this fucking dice. 20 to a 1. Can you imagine?
No.
So there you go. There's a little promo. Oh yeah, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Yeah, you can. We have YouTube, Twitter, all that kind of stuff that is hanging up. Part of the reason that we are pushing this, or rather mentioning it, is because the Invictus stream, as you know, it will be changing to a degree. We will still be live streaming, but the amounts are going to be changing slightly. More details on that to come. Don't you worry. We will still be here in some form. But obviously it's difficult to stream every Wednesday forever. So this is a reality. And because we love playing together around a table, we want to keep that up. And the podcast is frankly the easiest way to make that happen. So a lot of the exact interactions that you have become very used to and fart jokes are going to be continuing on in many different formats, one of them being the podcast. From Brother Alex. Yeah, there's a fart in an episode. And this is it's kind of fun to produce something. Well, not produce, but you know what I mean. Create something in a different manner than we have before. I think Invictus is very much about like winging it, like kind of very off the cuff. And this is Justin is meticulously adding music and sound effects, and I'm editing, and Joe is being Joe.
My portion is off the cuff.
No, but you can check us out right now. DiceShamePodcast.com is our website. Like I said, all the social media links are up. Have at her. Get ready. A few weeks. Okay, good night, everyone. That's that.
All right, that was Apocalypse World.
That was Apocalypse. Oh, right, Apocalypse World. Is there anything else I had to mention? I don't think so. I wanted to show that. I insulted Mixer enough.
You mentioned Mixer.
Did I insult Mixer enough?
I mean, you should do it one more time just to be sure.
Fuck Mixer.
Ooh, is that an insult or just straight up coming at them?
Fuck Mixer? Is that
Or
an
is that a
insult?
whole
The question mark
different?
helps. I guess it
It's not,
softens.
it's not really an insult. It's more of a threat almost.
Fuck Mixer?
That might be. That's
I mean,
worse.
honestly, I don't. This is classic fear what you don't understand. This is just me not understanding Mixer, so I am projecting. When in truth, Mixer is probably a perfect life choice.
It's just as afraid of you as you are of it.
Exactly. So yeah, go out there
Guys,
and be
Dan
Mixer.
Scott's here.
Dan
Amazing.
Scott's
Scott!
here.
He's in
Dan
general chat.
Scott.
Dan, you have to go down to
Oh my God.
Apocalypse World
I am
6.
so nervous.
He's here.
Dan Scott. Come
He
on
said-
down.
Scott is
He
here.
says, "Hey all, thanks for the big welcome." I like
Excellent.
this guy. I think he's going to be around for a while.
He better be. I just dedicated an
Someone
entire-
at him down in the chat.
At him. Yo, bro, come down here.
Get at him. Get at him.
So exciting.
Oh my God, Justin, we recognize that print behind you. Oh, it's the black and white eggs with the headphones.
Yes. This is the soul food.
It used to be at the
poster
old
from-
apartment.
Yeah, my dad.
Broke into the old.
My dad's piece of art.
A black egg.
Surrounded by white eggs.
Surrounded by white
It's-
eggs.
Just
it's
like Justin.
It's listening to some, pretty much. Who knows what this egg's listening to? I'm guessing Al Green
Billy Joel.
or Billy Joel.
I mean,
Uptown Girl. Clearly.
Petula Clark.
you did really love Billy Joel for a while there.
Town.
What's not to love about Billy Joel?
For a while there, I still love Billy Joel. He's
Right?
still up there,
Yeah.
like top 3.
He's
top
pretty amazing.
3. Vienna
three.
is still one of my go-to favorite songs. Oh, top 3 bald men.
Yeah. Wait, which
It's
game is
Phil
your
Collins?
Oh, I'm listening.
Vienna. Oh, with Phil Collins.
Yes.
Phil Collins, Terry Crews,
Rob.
Billy Joel, for bald men. Sorry, Rob.
What?
I,
What? List them again. This is important.
Terry Crews.
Phil
Yeah.
Collins and Billy Joel.
And
What about
Rob.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis is.
I didn't think of him.
So, but I mean, Billy Joel's bald now, but for a lot of his career, he wasn't. So
Yeah.
is that, do you only get bald
90%.
Billy Joel music, or do
I
you get?
only listened to live from 1996.
That's what I mean. And I'm gonna be bald in like a year. So are you gonna like me in 2000? And
I mean, if something happens to Billy
When
Joel,
I'm
Matt.
54.
maybe.
did you watch that movie yesterday? Not the
No, I
movie
haven't seen it
yesterday,
yet.
but the movie yesterday.
I didn't watch that movie. I watched a different one. Yeah. No, I haven't.
You'd like it, Justin. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
you
I
seen it,
watched
Rob?
Joker the other day.
How's Joker?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. has
See,
nothing
if
to
you
do
were
with
still living
Billy
around me,
Joel.
I was gonna call you and I was gonna say we should go see the movie. But now you don't live around me.
I literally drove back and watched it with my dad in Pickering. Yeah.
Well, joke's on
Thanksgiving
me.
Sunday.
I'm the Joker. All right, let's play this game. We've waited enough. Rob, you should see yesterday though. I think you'd really enjoy it. Oops.
I will add it to the list.
I know. Well, you're a Beatles fan,
Yeah.
and
I
I
got
think,
really teary at that one part.
well, that's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it because I think it was also unexpected, that part. So I don't want to really allude to anything, but it's a surprisingly.
Also, I
Peace.
liked the music.
Yeah, it's almost like the Beatles are like the most popular band.
No, but I think they did it well.
No, you're so right. Okay, ladies
Some
and
of
gentlemen.
those songs are really catchy.
Yeah. What was that one about? The
Should be
evil
number one or
mustard?
something.
Something about really angry mustard? Something
That's
like
a bit
Dijon?
Angry mustard.
Cuckoo
Mean
Cachoo.
Dr. Dijon. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in Apocalypse World or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Is it go time? Can I go?
I pointed at you.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't
It's
paying
okay.
attention. It's the morning of the big fight. The three of you stayed together last night. Whether it was for protection or company or just sheer relief to be together again, it's hard to say. I don't know if any of you would admit it to each other, but there's something there that you missed. So you stayed in Locke's apartment, and a sharp rap on the door in the morning wakes you, the three of you. And your door doesn't have or I guess it does have a lock, because I said last episode you have a key. So a sharp knock just interrupts your sleep.
Right. And groggily, I push myself up out of my bed, and I exchange a look with Roof and Hex, who are both rousing as well, stirring, and I make my way to the front door. I don't believe I'm wearing anything.
I don't believe you are either.
No, I'm not convinced of that possibility.
Do you open the door?
I look through the peephole. Who is it? I say as I peer right through.
Sorrow's
Tried to
standing
my-
there. She's
All right.
backlit in the morning sun.
Beautiful. And I unlock the door and swing it back inwards. Come on in, love. Well, I haven't started breakfast yet, but I'm sure we could fix something up for you quick.
She gives you an appreciative once over. She's already got her hair bound up in about 4 braids. She's dressed in tight black leather battle garb, and she has a couple of weapons strapped to her back. She says, I don't know if we're going to have time for breakfast, but what are you cooking?
I make this soup, see? It kind of smells funky, but it's pretty damn good to taste, and that's all I've really got, so...
Is this
you're
your
right with
earwax
that.
soup again?
This is earwax soup. Hey, Hex!
Hey!
Hex is in the back.
Oh, hey, Sorrow. I come out like taking earwax from my ear, flicking it into the bowl, scraping my finger on it.
Good morning.
So, have you thought about our proposition?
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot, at least. We should go up and see if Garland will have an audience with us. What are you planning?
Well, the plan is that if Garland is willing to let us into his apartment, we hold him down until he lets us into the chroniclers. Look, Ruth and Locke and myself has discussed this. The only way forward is to shut down the whole fucking machine they got here, and that's turning off these bomb collars. We know that the chroniclers are the only people who have the ability to turn off those bomb collars. So, we get into Garland Huxley's place. You and Locke hold him down. We put a gun to his fucking forehead, and we make him march us into the chroniclers. Then we turn it down. Once we get in there, I'm sure we can manage.
Yeah, sounds like a sure thing.
So, do you have any plan or idea of how we're going to get into Garland Huxley's place? Is this something you do regular?
Well, I've been up there a couple of times.
What for?
Lady doesn't tell.
Did you fuck him?
Once.
Ew.
I figure he would want to see us before the battle anyway, if we wanted to.
Is he a betting man?
Interesting. He could be. Though the two of you shouldn't show your faces. She looks around the corner to where Ruth is. What are you doing, Ruth?
Ruth is sort of sitting there watching that scene play out. I think she, if she was been sitting in a chair all night, if she sort of slept, it was while, sitting up, sort of maybe not at attention, but not very relaxed. She's just sort of listening to something that nobody else seems to hear. She's a little bit like spaced out. This is a very like practical conversation, and that's lost her interest recently.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be terribly pleased to find out that the two of you are still alive.
Well, we're going to go in sort of incognito. Ruth has an idea. Ruth, are you listening to this?
Yes, Hex, yeah.
You said that you could do something modification-wise. Not permanent, but that would, disguise us relatively?
Yes, I can definitely make our faces look very different. If we get to the to the ambulance, I can give us a disguise.
All right. Let's make it happen. What do you need? From here, let's go.
And I'm looking at Ruth.
I just stand up. Nothing. I'm ready.
All right. So how
Locke,
are they
do you
going to
need
get into?
anything specific?
Well, how are they going to get into the place? Do you know whose identities they could take? They can't just look like some random bloke and just walk in there, because random bloke isn't going to have any access, right?
I forgot that you don't have hangers-on. You're fairly new here. I guess in time you could potentially gain some notoriety that I enjoy. They can be my posse.
Gotcha. All right, well then, you guys get to it. Go get your disguises on, and I suppose we can all move together, right?
Deal. And I turn to Ruth. Don't ruin the moneymaker.
I'll stay here. I don't want to attract attention. You guys come get me when you're ready.
Sure, well, here, enjoy this soup. I might as well stay as well. It's my flat. You guys will be fine, right?
Yeah.
We'll meet you there.
Okay.
Meet us here.
Well, or at the door where we're going to hang on to get
Look,
in.
let's just meet at the elevator toward Garland Huxley, okay?
There's no elevator, but we can definitely meet at the door.
Whatever. Let's go.
What's an elevator?
It's a thing that goes up, you dumb bitch.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so you guys walk out into the early morning of Kashmir. The barrel fires are just newly lit.
The classic joint.
Yes. A freshly lit barrel fire.
Nothing like
Nothing
the
like
smell.
it.
Reminds me of home, really.
You head back toward the human body waste pit that you until recently called your home. What do you do?
Well, it's how important. So I understand. Don't ruin your face. an important end result. In the meantime, do you have any vision for what? I mean, there's certain modifications we can make to give you a different look once we're inside here. Very minimal chance of.
Look, I just want something temporary, Ruth. I mean, we walked up to that Sorrow chick, and she immediately recognized me as one of the people that Locke put down last.
The eye is kind of a standout detail.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
Here, and I pop out the eye. That will help, won't it?
I mean, it's an option, but now you don't have an eye.
Well, I'll put it back in once we get into Garland Huxley's. It's only to get past the front guards. I want it to be as temporary as possible.
Okay, I think I've got a glass one we can put in there in the meantime. I think we've got a couple of things I've hidden away for just this thing. I can freeze a couple of muscles in certain places. I can give you a pretty
that's
garish
what
look.
I want.
I
want that thing from Harry Potter where she like zaps him and his face gets all fucked
You
up.
mean
Remember?
magic?
No,
I
it's
don't
like,
have magic.
Yeah, but
Here's
like if
Harry
you
Potter.
Botoxed me a little bit, or if you like, if you
Yeah, no,
muscles,
we can inject some stuff, put some lumps where that will get reabsorbed. We
Harry
can
Potter.
freeze some muscles in place. We can make you look real different. Maybe we need to shave that hair in patches to make it look a little.
You don't touch the hair. I'll wear a hood if I have to. It won't
All
grow
right,
back.
but it won't go back.
Ruth, what's going on with you? You seem out of it. Come on. Ever since you woke up from dying, it's like the world's changed.
I mean, it sort of has, right? It was not. I don't know. It's hard to explain because you didn't see it too. I was sure. I don't know what I expected.
Hey,
I don't know what I expected.
I didn't think I was going to make it out of there either. I thought I was dead. It seems though I was happy that I was alive, and it seems like it's almost a burden to you.
It's just that there's nothing like trying to find a part of this world that is that I mean, I want to grow. We don't have long here, and everywhere we've gone, we can't even put down roots to begin to sprout because the soil's sandy, gets blown away or burned up, turns to ash, gets dumped on, covered in filth. Nothing grows, and I want to grow. And I think you deserve a chance to put down some roots and grow too. And I think Locke deserves that chance. I think everybody here deserves that chance, and it just feels like time is running out.
Well, fuck. And I go to the back and I rummage
So let's
around.
fuck up your face.
And you hear me like, and I come out and I'm wearing like a big leather knapsack. It's got something huge in it. I'm like, fuck it. Well, I got a backup plan just in case that ends up being possible. Fuck up my face.
And yeah, I go into the infirmary and attempt to work on that face as if it was technology.
I was kind of hoping you were just going to punch me in the face a few times.
It's not
No.
Ruth style.
We gotta roll stuff.
Yeah. This one doesn't.
Oh, you don't have to roll stuff.
I think
Never
it just says, yeah, you tell me if I've got all the stuff that we
Read
need to
a
do to fuck up our
sitch.
faces.
mind. You do.
Yeah.
You do. You have a lot of spare machinery around and a lot of spare body parts around.
Yeah, that's going to get gross, but that's what we got to do.
I mean, I also introduced the idea that there could be some bio robotic type stuff.
Yeah, I think for Hex, the look ends up being very, like, it's very minimalist. It's all stuff that will go away or get better on its own. Like, if this goes south, Ruth isn't required to put it back. If something happens to her, everything, it's going to be bruised artificially or temporarily. It'll wash off.
I feel like
it'll get reabsorbed. I think when for the stuff that Ruth is doing to disguise herself, it might be a little bit more grotesque, a little bit more permanent. Like, I think there is maybe half her head is shaved. I think there is an element of there's something big and garish and metallic inserted into one of her ears that just draws a lot of attention, hides that side of the face. Like, I think that she is doing some stuff to really change her.
Ruth is like using this as an opportunity to like change the way she looks permanently. That's kind of fucking cool.
So you do this, and it takes maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2.
Yeah, and then I think she puts a hood up over the end of it to try and.
And I think like Hex can't really hide his surprise after. He's like, "Oh, Ruth, you look a lot different."
Well, it was a good chance to. I've been thinking about some changes, and yeah, I know I don't know if I'll ever look the same, but that's not important anymore.
Yeah.
But you'll get better. I promise.
And she walks by and yeah, and Hex follows. Confused.
As you walk back through Crashmere, the morning is a lot busier. The bazaar is hustling and bustling, and you catch sight of Sorrow ducking into Locke's apartment complex with a bundle under her arm just before you arrive. And as you enter, she's making herself comfortable and having a chat with Locke.
And then he gets on the bloody top of the vehicle, right? Gets on the gun and just starts pumping this lady full of fucking lead. It was fucking the most intense and hilarious thing I'd ever seen.
That's animal.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of
Absolutely.
that's animal Sorrow.
She turns. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Wow. Good job. I almost didn't recognize you.
And I make that little dance I did again. I'm like,
All right, that's a little bit horrific with the jaw protrusion.
what do you mean? What's wrong with me?
Hey, wow, now, Hex, you're looking pretty damn good, Hex. What you do? This is a nice new look for you, much better than you looked before.
Fuck you, Locke.
I took the liberty of doing a little bit of shopping for the two of you. She unwraps the parcel that she brought in, and there are 2 outfits, one for Ruth and one for Hex. What do they look like? They're appropriate for a hanger-on.
Yeah, I feel like mine is like super tight, thin, like faux leather plastic pants that make my legs look like needles, and like sort of a Eddie Murphy in raw leather, sort of shoulder heavy. I'm picturing sort of like what people thought in the 70s like the future would
Some
look
like
like.
Fifth Element shit?
Yeah, like Fifth Element type, and I'm like really uncomfortable, sort of tight, a lot of chains around my neck for some reason, and super cool shades. They're like this big with like lines through them.
Oh, yeah. Definitely something
Super
that
cool.
survived the apocalypse. Endless amounts of plastic accessories.
Fuck yeah.
What does Ruth have?
I mean, I think Ruth's stuff leans a little bit softer. It's definitely softer than anything she's worn before. There's, she takes off her like lab coat that's sort of tattered and bloodstained and still survives, and it's really just a comfortable sweater and some pants and like a scarf hat thing. It's just really toned down. The scarf sort of hides some of the face, some of the like ear head stuff. And it just looks like comfortable, simple clothes.
Nice. All right, well, should we do this thing? I mean, I can carry weapons wherever I go, pretty much. Are you armed?
You think
Always.
they'll let me win with this? I hold up my chain and blade.
Well, that's kind of your signature move.
Right. I figured they'd let me.
Of course. Who are you without that?
Oh, you're nothing without that.
Well, I'm glad you like
I'm
that
just
suit then, eh?
teasing.
All right. Yeah. Careful.
And Ruth, you still have your shotgun.
Yeah. I think Ruth has a shotgun that
Or
she sort of
a
wraps
new
up.
shotgun, yeah.
Yeah. her new piece she sort of wraps up and hands to Locke or to carry, if just in case.
Yeah, all right.
For me, but I probably will get strange looks carrying it around if.
It's the only thing that I'm wearing, just a strap across my chest. Oh, maybe I'll wear the loincloth.
Are you totally naked, basically?
I'm gonna wear the loincloth.
I love the idea that you have like
Walker
really
naked.
nice sneakers. And just totally naked.
Oh, the loincloth and the Air Jordans. I'll put those on.
Yes. And that
They help
like
me jump higher.
some destitute child like brought them to you and you're like, oh, thanks.
Thanks. These are real fly.
It's one of the ones you pump up a little bit to.
Yeah. They got a little
exactly.
like deet, 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 deet.
Suspension.
So we do. We head out toward the tower where Garland Huxley lives and where Sorrow has her own apartment. She lives near the top floor, so she has access to the stairs, and it's quite the climb. At the entrance,
How is bubble gum made in this world? Is it just like salvaged? Oh, right, from like the bottom of tables. Like he's been chewing the same piece of bubble gum for
Oh no.
12 years. Oh. Yeah. Right. But I think what they do is they can flavor it like tofu. So they like gather a whole bunch of this like salvaged gum and they put it all together in one big conglomerate gum and then they add the flavors. Like
But
they-
flavors are
I
available.
muted myself. I muted. Sorry.
Savory.
Fucking
like a
earwax?
savory earwax is a flavor.
oh no, when
is-
did that happen?
I don't know. A minute
dear.
ago. We're talking about wax or gum. Luckily we weren't talking about anything.
Oh, you muted the entire stream.
No, just
shit.
I don't
Just
know why, but
Harlan
every
and
once in
I.
a while there must be an auto key, like a. Yeah, no, I don't know why. Just
Oh dear.
This synopsis is everyone goes to the building where Garland Huxley and Sorrow live, and we go in past some guards, one of whom is chewing bubblegum. Then there's
And
a
then we
whole
talk about
discussion
bubblegum for
about
20
bubblegum.
And it's gross. Just yeah.
It's salvaged.
I like it. Sounds good.
So it's just Locke discussing apocalypse gum to himself, says Colin.
Oh yeah, just as I'm climbing the stairs. Do you reckon that they make gum here, or do they just salvage it?
Does Locke chew gum? Is that a habit he's picked up?
Oh yeah, have you
I'm a little curious, to be
you
honest.
started I imagine
mean,
you would have picked up like one or two like new luxurious habits.
Yeah. I feel like chewing gum is something that I'd never seen before. And here in Crashmere, it's a very common occurrence. And why not? Why the hell not? Just fully indulge myself. And yeah, I don't know, enjoy a little bit of that. I've tried 2 flavors.
What were they?
One more than I have.
One was sand
Oh, I
flavor.
had salt.
Salt. Oh, yeah,
Salt gum.
salt is good. And the other one was actually earwax. I made that one myself. I just mixed it with soup.
What?
Locke is one of
artificial earwax flavor.
Locke is one of the only characters I've ever played with or GM'd for where I definitely know what they smell like.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, very pungent. Very pungent. That's
Odorous.
why my heart is only 2 and not 3.
But also like Locke's kind of gross, but it's the sexy kind of gross somehow. Like
Yes.
everybody
Yeah.
fundamentally is like, yeah, I
It's a
get
rawness.
it. But also, oh,
He smells so incredibly human. Between the BO and the earwax and other bodily fluids, it's all
It's just every part of Locke is naked. You're not surprised by any bit of
And
it. It's all on
glistening.
display.
All of it.
Whack.
About 15 stories up, so 15 flights of stairs, we reach a doorway. The exterior of the door is decorated with colorful shells and rocks and bottle caps. It's like a magpie lives here.
Looks like a fucking kindergartner's class.
I don't know what that means.
Means look. What's the plan here? Are we just gonna shoot him?
I thought you had the plan.
I mean, yeah. Let's go in. Let's get him to sit down in a chair, and then let's tie him. No, Locke. Let's go in, and you just hold him, restrain him. That's the word. You and
Just right
Sora.
off the bat. Just
Yeah.
right off
There's
the
no
bat.
reason to dick around.
Just walk right in. Don't even want to talk to him. All right.
There's
that
going
makes
to be
sense.
people there.
Right. I think it
Can
might
any
be
of
wise
those
to
people?
isolate him, get him alone, right?
Maybe.
Do any of those people have the ability to light the necklaces up, or is it just him?
I don't know what you mean.
Blow them up.
Oh, I've only ever seen him with the remote.
Okay, then here's the new plan. Let's get it so that he gets everyone else to leave. Leave that to me, and then once that happens, Sora and Locke, you worry about restraining him.
You got him.
We open the door.
Yep.
We open the door to reveal a short hallway, at the end of which is another single door. There are 4 people lounging in various states, all seemingly not paying attention to us. They are, sitting on the ground 4 meters away, and then there's another one halfway down the hallway who's smoking a cigarette, and 2 at the far end of the hallway standing on either side of the door.
I'd like to read a search
Okay.
and just take a look to see who's armed or what's going on in this.
Cool. Roll plus
Who's
sharp.
dangerous. Rolling with INVICTUS. There we go. That's a very bad roll. I've got a 3 rather.
3. So, ask 1, but be prepared for the worst. So you have your list
the
of questions. I can post them in our chat.
Did not print those.
Hold up. I got you right here.
Who is my biggest threat? I feel as one, right?
Yeah, you can
yeah.
ask 1. Which
Yeah,
enemy
who's
is
the
the biggest threat?
Yeah.
I would say probably Garland Huxley, who is not in this room.
No, he's not here. I mentioned to them.
And I get to take a move. One of the guards on either side of the door, she's a short woman, maybe 5'2", with this foot high afro. She picks a phone off of the wall and puts it to her ear and talks into it in a discreet way. You're maybe, 30 feet away from her, so you can't pick up what she says. What do you guys do?
Are we all in the room right now?
We're all in the doorway of this hall.
I enter.
You enter the hallway.
Yes.
Okay. The door at the other end of the hallway opens, and this blue light streams into the hallway, along with the sound of string music, which is a sound I don't know if any of us have heard. And
What is that? Oh. Ugh.
a woman marches to the end of the hallway. Everyone else sort of backs up and permits her space. She's in a tuxedo, and she looks the four of us up and down. Locke and Sorrow, what are you doing here?
And I gesture to Sorrow. She's the one with the connection.
She looks flustered for a second. I wanted to come and see Garland before the big fight today. Oh, yeah? Well, we'll see about that. One moment, please. And she marches back to the end of the hallway and disappears into the blue light.
Oh, it's kind of a nice place. Does your apartment look like this?
There are fewer people in it usually. And that noise isn't there. I'm sorry. Aren't you a little bit afraid that your head is going to explode?
They're not going to explode the heads of the two prime champions for tomorrow. You guys have banners all over the city. Relax.
It's today.
That's what I meant. That's fine.
The woman saunters back down the hallway out of the blue light towards us. All right, he'll see you for a moment. He's very busy.
Of course.
And I sort of take the lead. I push ahead a little bit.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm the gift.
What do you mean?
And I start taking off a glove. I'm the gift for Garland Huxley. And I'm going to do an arresting Skinner. When you remove a piece of clothing, you own someone else, your own or someone else's. No one who can see you can do anything but watch. You command their absolute attention. And I'm just going to remove the glove. So this woman stares at me. And assuming the rest of the hall might be. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to the door.
Yeah, she just stands in the middle of the hallway and she
I'll walk backwards.
She lets she lets the four of us sort of push around her, and she just stands there with a clipboard, looking at you.
A bit flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I'm and then I just drop the glove in the doorway we're entering, and then I just spin around and enter into the room.
We enter into this room, this scintillating blue light that covers everything. It's hard to tell where it comes from. There are plants here, big ones, potted trees almost. There's a water feature, something never before seen, like a fountain there's some fish swimming around in it. And a man is sitting on the edge of this fountain. He's in a gold pinstriped suit, and he stands up as we enter. The room is probably, I don't know, what's a big room size?
2 million by 2 million square feet.
That's how big it is.
Wow.
It's a hell of a tower.
That's like Texas.
30 by 30 feet.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
something. That's right.
And there are a couple of doors leading off to other rooms. You would presume they are color coded. There's a red door and a green door and a blue door and all that shit.
How many people are in this room?
Apart from Garland in the pinstripe suit, there are 3 beefy boys with semi-automatic weapons playing cards in one corner. And there are a couple of floozy-looking women serving and making tea sandwiches. And Garland Huxley doesn't stand as we enter. And he says, well, good morning. I see you did away with Damson.
Well, she said that we'd be allowed to speak with you, which I greatly appreciate because of your quite busy schedule, I imagine.
Naturally, it's not typical for the champions to come up and visit me with their entourage. What can I do for you this morning? You have a busy, busy day.
Well, this is my first time actually interacting with you in your place of residence and having as big a fight coming up today. And I don't know where you come from, but back where I'm from, we do things a little differently. You are very obviously important person, And we wanted to, or I wanted to, convince my opponent here that you are deserving of a gift.
A gift?
That's right. Very talented individual. I'll let him speak for himself.
And I take, like, the deepest bow.
Well, I do collect specimens.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. My gift is not myself, or rather Locke's gift, but rather as a fellow tale weaver. It's a tale for you, one that you can repurpose and tell to wow as many as you'd like.
Oh, one moment, please. Ladies, it's story time. I need a chair. And the women like quickly hustle around and they find this like outrageous puffy armchair and just drag it across the floor. And he sits down in it. My footrest, please. And they do the same, and he gets himself all cozy. It's like, all right, go ahead.
The Ballad of Bare-Chested Brian. And I take down my hood. You see, for I am not just the gift. I am the lesson as well. Steel yourselves for the sad tale of Brian, the bare-chested one that will have you crying. His beauty is known, his looks can kill. If they don't get you, his blades surely will. And I start walking towards the crowd a little bit.
As you're doing this, sorry, let me cut in here. Sorrow has moseyed her way over toward the three burly dudes who are playing cards, and she's just like chatting with them. And she sort of looks behind her at the three of you and then like cocks her head out toward where there is a balcony, and the three of them go outside with her.
The man is known far and wide for the brass in his balls and the steel at his side. He fought plenty of bandit from Cal Alley, saved the town of Gar Alley, scored many a lady and many a lord. And again, I continue moving towards the stage. Locke, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to be kind of moving a little bit behind you, but moving towards Garland, getting myself in a position where he's in full view of me, and we're a bit more intimate.
He's like half paying Hex attention, and he's half kind of canoodling a girl who's trying to pour him some wine. And he's like doing this stupid like, you're gonna miss the glass, like playing this stupid fucking game with her. She seems like very practiced in tolerating that.
And how, Ruth, what are you doing?
So I think Ruth has sort of drifted back against one of the walls, and she's ostensibly like watching Hex and Garland, and she's also put the side of her head that has this new contraption on it against the wall of the building, and is just listening to the tower, almost trying to get a sense of just to hear for things that aren't necessarily immediately here, get a sense of what's going on.
And Hex is continuing to approach. But I'll tell you today of his lousiest deed. He had the audacity to cross the glaive. And with that, I'm going to step behind Garland. And I'm going to draw my hidden blade. And I want to... This is a very complicated emotion. I don't want to hurt him. I want to make it very clear that I have the approach.
Are you making a lot of
these?
Tons of air quotes.
Basically, Hex is someone who would go to these higher ups, these like killers, these warlords, and he would do this, and he would go up and he'd kill them. And what I want to do to Garland is sort of mockingly joke that's what I used to do. So I'm going up, I'm going to put my blade, and then I'm going to laugh and like drop the blade and step back. Sort of show him that I had him, but that was kind of part of the act that I was trying to show him and tease him. Mm-hmm. So how much of that happens?
I want you to do something under fire.
Sure. Also, shout out to Colton Fowler, who wrote that ballad,
Yeah, that was
Bare-Chested
sick.
Brian. I forgot, I think a few episodes ago, I had mentioned someone write me a ballad, and I'll read it. And I had that. He sent it to me. I totally forgot. So, Colton Fowler, you are absolutely going to get, XP, mid-game XP.
Nicely done.
Or endgame, whatever it is.
Roll plus cool.
Okay. Because I'm like acting. I'm not really trying to. Mm-hmm. I would love some XP from the community because I don't want this to go south. But I guess no one's there.
No.
So I'm just going to roll. Cool? Come on.
Oh, there you are.
That's not bad. 8.
What'd you get? Okay, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. So it's essentially, it is a success.
Yeah.
Yes, that happens. But something bad also happens.
Okay, well, I should say this then, because I was trying to be tricksy. The whole reason I wanted to get up to him to pretend to slit his throat, which I obviously would never do, is I want to take his controller. I'm trying to get up to him so I can like get into his pocket. That was like my hope. And my hope was that I rolled well enough to be like, and I slip his into my pocket. So I don't know if I succeeded if I take it, but I don't know what the negative is.
You take the controller from him.
Really all I want.
And he notices that you do so. Standing up in an alarmingly swift motion, he pulls a gun on you and points it at your head. He says, "Now what the fuck are you doing?"
Can I?
He's
read
just
his
making a
mind?
distraction. And
Yeah, there
I
you
jump up behind him and wrap my chain around him.
Perfect.
Pulling his gun down.
Were you going to say something too, Rob?
I was hoping to read Garland Huxley's mind. I want to read a person from across the room. Just
So
to,
much
like,
is happening
get
all
in
at
his-
once. Yeah, you absolutely can.
Let's do that.
That's the old 1-2 as we call it, Locke.
That's the old one too.
See what's going on
That's
in there.
The Hex and Lock special.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I maybe just hold on to these questions until they become relevant. But
You absolutely can.
yeah, actually, what's he intend to do right now?
He intends to get that controller back by any means necessary. Locke, roll to do something under fire, where you would be wrapping the
Do
chain
it,
around this
do
guy's
it.
neck.
Ooh, I got 9.
Nice.
Okay. So you succeed to wrap the chain
Like
around
sweating as the gun
Garland's
gets pointed at my head.
neck as Garland fires and hits Hex.
Me?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to take some damage from that.
Did I ever heal? I guess I did. It's been
Find
like 2 weeks.
gun.
That was a cool line too, Justin. I like that.
Yeah, that was really
What
good.
did you intend to
It
do?
worked well.
Distract me from this.
Crap.
Ba-bam!
Do you have armor, Harlan?
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, if I'm wearing fake clothes, I'm probably going to put on more armor. But we'll call my regular stuff.
So probably 1 armor.
Yeah.
So you take 1 harm as he shoots you in the shoulder. His aim goes wide a little bit as he gets jostled with the chain, and he goes, "Motherfucker!" And one hand goes to his neck to try to get in between the chain as he holds this gun. What happens next?
I take
How
the gun.
could I get him? How could I get him to feel hopeless and give up?
Take the banana.
How could I get his?
How can I get your character to feel hopeless and give up?
Can I just take the gun while he figures that out?
No, because he can still just shoot you. So let's deal with what Ruth is doing, and then we can do another. That would be seized by force. But let's. You can get Garland Huxley to, what did you say?
Feel hopeless and give up.
By exposing his true situation.
His true situation.
Well, that's a good idea.
Do I know what his true situation is, or is that?
Yeah, he's well, he's not outnumbered.
Is he wearing a collar? He's got like a nice like pearl collar that still
You don't
has like a blinking light on it.
you don't see a collar on him. Did you want to seize the gun from him? That would be rolling plus hard.
Someone but me should do that.
I'm not very hard right now.
Ruth
need
might
to
walk
take
up
some
and seize the
damage
gun.
first.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She walks up past Locke, takes the shotgun that's strapped to his back, just out from behind his back, of that one piece of cloth he's got.
Oh, I
He's
don't know.
wearing. And yeah, we'll try and walk up and seize the gun and make no bones about being willing to shoot Garland if he doesn't participate in the handing over of the gun.
Okay. So you're going to roll to seize by force?
Yeah, let's roll with hard. How bad could this go? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Not bad.
And if somebody wanted to help me, we could make it better.
Do we have
I'll
any
help you.
Oh, we do have XP spending.
Hey,
Oh, it could be XP, or it could just be one of these folks wanted to help me.
True say?
Well, gladly, I feel like it would be appropriate for me to help.
I would say
As
so.
you know.
Yeah.
I just got shot.
Yeah, you did. That hurt. Oh, yeah. So you just take. How does helping work again?
So if they're gonna make a roll with plus history with me,
Yes.
and then if depending on how good they do or bad,
And I'm rolling what? Cool.
plus
No,
history,
plus
whatever
history.
your HX with me is.
Oh, HX. Oh, we've got 2 written on my
Nice.
sheet
Oh,
here.
that's
That's
good.
a good call.
So I got an 8.
Yeah, that
Beautiful.
works.
So that's my plus 1 I need. So there's a 10 plus for seize by force.
Done. So you can choose 3.
All right, I'm going to take definite and undeniable control of it, impress, dismay, or frighten my enemy, and suffer little harm.
Good.
Amazing. So do you have armor as well?
I think I have 1 armor. Yeah, I imagine underneath this lovely bulky sweater there is also a pretty thick some sort of protective covering over the vital areas. Anyways, just knowing that it would
be the
could get
same as
rough.
your armored lab coat, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm angling for. So I think
So you
that
had
was
a armor of 2 or 1?
I had 1 armor, I believe.
And then suffering little harm means you also take 1 less harm. So,
Correct.
I mean, you're supposed to exchange harm, which means the gun goes off in your hand as you're trying to wrest it away from Garland Huxley. It does not damage you at all, but you do
Perfect.
inflict harm on Garland.
Yeah, so I think with the left hand, I grab the gun from it, and maybe like it's a sharp pinch. I'm holding onto a gun as it's banging, but it manages to not hit me, and just the explosion singes the hand a little bit, but does no real harm. I take it. I have the shotgun. I guess I must shoot it at his foot once, and then drop his gun on the floor somewhere, cock it again, and put it against him.
Okay. So he's got one hand trying to keep this chain from choking him to death. He has Locke sort of pulling him tight from behind. Hex is in front of him, bleeding but angry, I would presume. And Ruth has just taken his gun away.
The truth is, everyone, Garland never had any power here but what you gave him. Is there someone still being a stool for him, or on
There are 2 women sort of laying on the ground in fear.
Stand
Get
up,
out of here.
children. Stand up, children. You're free. All of his power was an illusion, and it's gone now. You're just a pathetic tyrant, a little tiny king who had a little controller that made you feel powerful, and it's all gone, evaporated. Look at that. In one moment, one story, your story changed, Mr. Huxley.
You notice now that there is quite a bit of commotion out on the patio. the balcony. Sorrow has thrown one man off to his death, and she's grappling with another one. The third one is digging ineffectually at his side for his firearm, which is still inside, not on his waist as he had hoped. So she seems capable, but they are aware of this coup.
I say to Ruth, I'm like, give me that gun.
Sure. Garland's gun.
Yeah, because you already.
Yeah, I think I dropped it, so it's right at your feet.
Yeah. So I'll grab it and I will. Actually, you know what? It makes more sense. I aim it at Garland's head, and I'm going to seduce or manipulate him. I'm going to lie to him. I'm going to say.
You're going to do something.
Yeah, I'm going to either seduce, manipulate, bluff, fast talk, or lie to him, whichever he wants to perceive this as. Because I think it makes more sense for Locke to go help her than me to help her. And I say, you're going to talk to us, and you're going to help us, or you're not going to get out of here alive. And I will roll plus hot. Which is 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll go along with me, but they need some concrete assurance. That's fair. I say, look, I'm not going to kill Garland Huxley where he stands. You... Actually, do I get the impression that he... you said he doesn't have a collar on.
He's
right?
suckered right now. If you wanted to attack someone unsuspecting or helpless...
Yeah, no, I don't want to hurt him. I want him to know that... he'll do what I want as long as he has concrete evidence that we're not going to hurt him. I'll tell him. I said, look, and I tell Locke, I'm like, ease up for a second. Look, we're not going to hurt you. We just need your help to get into the chroniclers so that we can set all these people free. And I know I'm acting, but I'm just curious if he doesn't have a collar. You said
You don't see a collar.
I've relaxed on the chain, by the way.
Why should I help you?
I just told you why. because
This is
I
my
won't kill you.
kingdom.
No, it's not. It's not anymore.
By all due respect, Mr. Huxley, it seems like you answer to the chroniclers. Am I wrong?
There's a panicked look on his face, and you see that he's clutching at his neck. The wrist of his suit has been pulled up to reveal he's got a bracelet on that has a very similar look to your
I look at the
collar.
remote and I like point it at him, kind of like, you really want me to press this button?
That doesn't connect to mine.
Well, thank you for that.
Just a little meta. How does this controller work? Like, is it like a radio frequency? Like you can tune it to like different frequencies, and that is what's tuned to.
My
each
guess is
individual collar?
it's a punch code, and like it's like a key, a combination, and every collar has like 526, 662. You know what I mean? So you go 662, boom. That's my
Or is
guess.
it just like a remote control where like if you're surrounded by TVs and you point the remote at the right TV? Or
No,
at
so I'm
any of the
saying I
TVs,
think
they will turn on.
the way I view it is you have to punch in the code of the collar you want to blow up.
But that would take so long, and you'd have to know the code.
That remote is
Yeah.
very powerful chronicler electromagic. I don't know how it works. Stop pointing it at me.
Electromagic. Whatever. I bluffed, lady. I succeeded. You do
I'm
what
a
I do. Or whatever, dude. I rolled. You failed. You do what I
Fine.
say.
What do you say?
It says right here. You go along with me.
Okay.
So long as you feel safe, and I think Locke letting Garland off.
I mean, he doesn't feel super safe.
Sorry,
there are
it's
no
not so
more
long as he feels
guards
safe.
on the balcony anymore.
Garland
and
Huxley goes
Sora
along
lets
with me,
herself back
but
in.
they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. So,
Put your gun down.
well, I just no.
Give that back to me
Listen
right
here,
now.
sweetheart.
No,
Or
I'm not a
dude.
sweetheart.
Well, you're a sweetheart. You look sweet.
No, I'm not.
You just got the chain got let off your neck. That was the we're not going to hurt you. You just shot me.
And I'll do it again.
What? This has gone way off the rails. Ruth, you do it. I step back.
I will step up to him, and so I shot him pretty good before,
Oh yeah.
right? Like yeah.
He's not doing great.
No, I think I gotta healing touch him then. I think I gotta
Yes.
I gotta
There's some concrete assurance.
reach out to him and like just bring my lips right up close to his ear and cup his face in my hand and say, today's a new day for you too. And as I'm touching him, something happens, and we'll see what that is.
Oh boy.
5, 6, 7, 8. So on a 7 and 9, heal 1 segment, but you also open your brain to the world psychic messenger. So roll that move next. So he heals.
Lovely. You see the...
Heal me after.
It's once per day. She has to do a short rest.
For fuck's sake.
No. And then my brain gets super open. So,
Some
but
healing
it's-
we got.
but it's a good one. So I also learned something new and interesting about the current situation.
Okay.
Learn where the collar deactivator is.
You learned something
Yeah.
new and interesting about the current situation, which is that there is a wild presence that seems to have knit itself into the space that Hex occupies somehow.
Wild in what way?
He seems to be two people to your maelstrom-tuned brain.
Uh-huh.
What else is new?
Yeah, so I whisper into Garland's ear and I heal him, and bones knit together, skin comes back, stops bleeding a little bit.
Thank you. I just need a moment, please. This is a lot for a morning. I haven't even had any opium yet today.
And I'm gonna turn, but I'm not gonna say Hex but I want to. I stop with the H in my mouth, and then we're not who we say we are. We better pretend. How are you doing? How do you feel right now?
What? I feel great, baby.
You're not yourself right now, or there's someone else here.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I am here. I'm pissed off. I got shot, but I'm feeling great.
What's going on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ruth's acting weird.
Sorrow walks over. She's breathing heavy, and she's like, well, that was fun.
It's not over yet.
Did you kill them or
So-
fuck them?
No, they're dead. It was exhilarating. I don't usually do that
Well,
just for me.
Listen, we don't have a lot of time. You threw one of those guys off the balcony. No doubt those people in the other room have heard what's going on in here, the gunshots and all that. I reckon we have about 5 minutes before the chroniclers actually get here.
No, I don't think that'll be a problem. Garland's like, don't worry about it. That kind of shit happens over here all the time.
It's the Wild Wild West. Wiki wow wow. Perfect.
You're saying
Sit
that
down
we're
in your
not
chair,
normal.
Garland.
What? Okay.
And like fire up in the ceiling and like shards
Fine.
of fucking.
Can I just talk about this chair for a
plaster
moment?
fall
It's
down.
like
let's hear
perfectly
about the chair.
preserved from times long past. It's from like the 18th century,
What?
and it's beautifully embroidered. It has all of these peacocks hand stitched into it.
Wow.
And it's got like these tasseled cushions, and you can tell that when he sits down on it, he inhales the scent of this chair. It's like, it's the best.
Listen, Garland, you're gonna get us into the chroniclers because we need to shut down all these explosive collars.
Yeah, all right.
You will?
Yeah, fine. Fuck it.
Perfect.
Been long enough here with my own religion, basically. I guess, I mean, not the chronicler's religion, because they're like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But when we take care of the chroniclers, you can basically have the same thing. I've got nothing wrong with that. It's just you'll be doing it without, an exploding thing on your wrist.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right. So you want to get into the Chroniclers?
That's right. We want you to march the 4 of us into the Chroniclers, figure out where the hell that deactivator would be, so we can shut it down. You don't happen to know where that would be, do you?
Well, I don't know if any of us will be able to get there, seeing that we have these. They don't let us pass the doors, activate every alarm in the place.
Well, that ain't a problem. And I pull down my turtleneck. Ruth and I here seem to have already been relieved of those issues.
Oh! Well, then it's your lucky day, I suppose.
So how are you going to get us in? Wait, hold on. You can't get all of us in, only the ones that have the...
Well, I assume this is kind of a hush-hush situation, right?
Yeah.
Well, then yes.
And I turn to Locke.
Lark has found a bag of peanuts. And is munching on them.
Well...
Either we try to find a way to take these collars off, or it's up to you and Ruth.
All right, okay, look. And I turn to Garland. Ruth and I can get in there, and Ruth and I can shut it down. You and Sorrow, well, I guess you're going to have to...
Business as usual.
Yeah, but not entirely.
You wouldn't want to tip anyone off, would you?
You guys just... If you can just hold off killing each other until we can deactivate the collars, then you two can stand there with the attention of every person whose collar will be deactivated in that moment and start a riot. In fact, that might be the best way to do this. Rather than have lawlessness of just deactivating the collars and people walking the streets, you're going to have every eye who loses their slavery in the same moment on you two. You guys will have the opportunity to tell them exactly what we need to do to overthrow this fucking place.
That's not gonna look good for me, darling, I'm afraid.
Well, no one cares about what's going to look good for you, and I shoot his chair. Right next to him.
It's all right. You got blood on it already.
I like that
you're
plan. Gonna have to find an escape route for me.
We'll worry about you after. Look, you and Sorrow can tell everybody exactly how to manage their revolution. And then you and me...
And me.
And Ruth can get to what we really want.
Actually, when these collars deactivate, will it be a clear signal? Is it obvious?
Yes, well, it does a beep, beely deet deet deet, and then a little deet deet deet, and then it opens and falls off. There's quite a little fanfare.
Well, that sounds all right. Sounds a lot of fun. All right.
Should be quite cacophonous.
Well, then I reckon, and I put out my hand, that we've got ourselves a plan.
He gives you his to kiss.
Oh, not you. I was aiming at X. It was X's
my
plan.
hand out too.
It was a handshake.
Look, Ruth and I can do it, and I shake your hand. Look, Ruth and I can do this, right, Ruth?
Yes. The three of us can do this for sure.
What? No, just you and me.
Right. Yeah. Just the two of us. You're right.
Ruth, and I put my hands on her shoulders. You need to come back to the real world right now, kid. Listen, you and me, we need to get into the Chronicler's place, and we need to shut down the Callers before Sorrow and Locke need to kill each other. Are you with me?
Oh, Hex, I believe we can do it. I know.
God, I don't believe that. Locke, talk some sense into her. And I go out towards the balcony.
I believe you, Ruth. You're gonna do great, and we're gonna put on a little bit of a show.
I'm so excited for you. You get to be the first voice that all these free people hear. The callers are going to beep, and your words are going to be the first ones that they hear. Think about what they're going to be, Locke. You're going to set the whole tenor for a whole new chapter.
You know,
you get to do that.
This whole hero thing.
Oh, it's not what you want, and that's why it's perfect.
Well, it's not really been something that's really stirred anything in me. But now that you mention it, my words being the first that these free people, first free, the first time in maybe their entire lives, being what they here to spark a revolt, I reckon that's pretty peachy.
Yeah.
He's just standing there naked in this penthouse.
My loincloth fell off.
Look, Garland.
we're gonna stop there for the mid game.
Oh, right, yeah.
We had like 12 perfect lines.
That was awesome.
There were like 12 perfect lines to end on for the mid-game post, and it just like kept on going to like. All right, another dramatic point.
It's
It's a dramatic time.
Did you say that? I wasn't listening. Oh, see, I can't see this chat because my video is locking it. So you got to.
Oh no! It sounded like there were a lot of spots where I was like, "That's gonna be a mid-game post," and then it wasn't. And then I was like, "That's gonna be a mid-game post," and then it wasn't. And
Well,
then,
ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the
mid.
mid-game post.
Amazing.
It's the time where we stop the action and we jump to you, the community, and we say, "What the fuck is up?"
What is up?
What's up? How you doing?
I hope you're enjoying the game.
Yeah, I am.
Me too.
Me
Me too. There's a lot of good lines there. That felt
good.
climactic.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we got a little plan.
Little plan.
It's all coming together.
It is all coming together. I'm nervous about being paired up with Ruth.
I'm nervous about being paired up with you two.
I don't understand what that's about. You're fine.
Me neither.
I think she's just.
It's a mystery.
I think she's just saying I have a quirky personality. I have a split personality. No, I don't. Yes, I do. I don't.
I mean, I hope that's what it means.
I'm just many different people all wrapped into one. I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother.
Can we watch
I know you're
the
insane.
Dice Shame promo again?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out Dice Shame.
There is a warg that is
Hold on.
snarling at you.
I snarl back.
Okay, here we go. Let's watch the Dice Shame promo again.
There is a warg that is snarling at you.
I snarl back.
Another situation where I'm on the ground. When you're lying on the ground bleeding out, you don't make so many rolls.
Is this a joke? And I kick the door in.
Oh, come here, you silly dwarf. With a natural one!
Oh my god!
Roll for initiative. Dun, 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 dun.
Go. Fuck this fucking dice. 20 to a 1. Can you imagine? No.
I didn't hear what you said, but I could hear you talking a little bit in the background.
What was happening? What was going on?
We watched the Dice Shame promo again.
But in the middle of the promo, Justin's going, Sean? Can you guys hear me peeing?
I didn't hear that.
That's awesome.
I was wondering, because I came back. I went to the bathroom and I came back and I shouted Sean a couple times because I wasn't sure if he was home.
Sean!
And then I'm just like, wait a second. If they could hear me shout Sean, maybe they could hear me peeing.
It's possible.
And,
Everyone, I
yeah.
mean, we'll never know because this isn't being recorded for,
Ever.
or anything.
No. Well, I mean, worst comes
Roll
to
the
worst,
tape
if
back.
I become Prime Minister, then that's what they got against me.
So funny because when I used to live in my apartment, it's a very small apartment, and the place where I would stream from is very close to the washroom. And whenever I did a break, I always had to make sure to like mute and make sure to make double sure that no one could hear me go to the bathroom.
You don't want to hear Joe take a pee.
It's like a racehorse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Okay.
And endless. So, what's up, pee fetishist?
I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week. It's still.
Oh, that's right.
You're still
No,
enjoying
not a
it.
lot since then, but I was enjoying it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So then next week you'll be like, I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
That's the progression.
kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to hit a point where I'm like, ugh, but I'm still sort of enjoying it.
I've been playing. You know,
Kidney
what I played
Jedi.
Kidney Jedi.
Are you going to racehorse pee?
That's your kidney Jedi at work.
Um,
The Sims 4. I've been
playing
The
The Sims?
4. A little bit. It's
That's
such
funny.
a good game. It's
It's
such
fun.
a fucking inspiring game to, especially like
When you move
being
into a
out
new
on
place.
my own. I've moved out into a new place, and I've got my job, and there's room for promotions, and
Yeah, makes you feel
Yeah, I just-
accomplished.
yeah, that's how Sound Booth Theater figures out promotions. Is did you play chess today? Did you level up your logic last night?
Did you paint and paint and paint and paint? Good job.
Yes, I painted.
Just on repeat.
Yeah. So my character is an astronaut. His
Good.
name is Francois Lamode. He's a French astronaut, and he lives at home. He's a single man, and he's trying to just make it in this new Simtopia place.
Good.
As an astronaut, just a budding astronaut. Can you believe it?
Good job for him. I mean, the first
I
French
know.
astronaut, probably.
Well, he found the gig online. He went on his computer and he found a job to be an astronaut.
It's that
Can you
easy.
believe that luck?
Could you imagine?
Apparently. Just like find a job. Okay, there's a job for criminal, astronaut.
I'd love to find a job for
Freelancer.
criminal online.
Yeah.
Not
It's
much
like,
job
hey,
security, though, is it?
in The Sims it is.
You should download Destiny 2.
You're just scrambling for ways to make it more fun, man. It's not a good game.
Have you played
The
it?
thing is, I haven't played it. It's just not a good game. I just know it isn't.
No, you should
Has
try
anybody
it.
here played it?
Have you seen me
Justin was streaming.
enjoy a game before?
Have I seen you enjoy a game
Ever?
before?
No, but you know me. I'm pretty critical.
You're picky. You're
Yeah.
pretty critical.
So-
Yeah, but you're critical, but you also have like really quick romances with video games, and then they die off very quickly.
That's true.
Like Call of Duty, not Call of Duty. The other one we played.
Rainbow Six?
No, the World War II one. You
Oh,
got the
yeah,
World
that
War II
sucked.
one.
Battlefield.
Battlefield, yeah.
Battlefield
yeah.
did suck. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But Destiny 2 is free. I haven't spent a cent on it.
I enjoy Destiny 2 as well.
Oh,
I haven't played it this year.
Rob, you
but
play it?
For the last 3 or 4 years, between like October and December, usually my life chills out to a point where I can play Destiny for a little bit, and then somewhere in January, February, stuff starts to pick up, and then I don't know, I never come back to it because the way I engage video games is like I'll binge.
how long
play
has
for
it
a
been
while.
out?
It's been out for a while,
Oh,
at least 2 years,
Okay.
3 years.
Wow.
I don't know.
Where do I download Destiny 2?
Steam. It's on Steam now.
It's on Steam?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
well,
only reason I got it.
I mean, if Rob's playing it, then I guess
He probably
I-
plays it
guess
on
maybe I'll-
PlayStation.
I got a PS4. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
fair enough.
But
I could tell
you should check it out on PC, at the very least,
Are they not
because
compatible?
I
I have no idea.
Colin asked a question that we should probably answer. So when you said that Dice Shame is going to change the Invictus stream, what exactly is going to be different other than this new series? Great question, Colin.
Great question.
I will just answer straight up. It's very difficult to stream 4 times a month. It is very, very difficult.
To get all of us together as well.
Yeah, when
And to have a
Alex
consistent game.
and Chris and Michael were here, it was a little different because we kind of lean on everyone. When we were in our 20s, it was a little different because we could lean on everyone. We are all now, well, Justin's not 30 plus yet, but everyone else is 30 plus.
Almost.
Never.
But I think for people who have seen us, they'll recognize that Michael stepped away, Chris stepped away because he had children, Alex stepped away because he had children, and it's difficult. Like for a Monday to Friday, like Tuesday Henry has classes, Wednesday night is like difficult to dedicate to a stream, Thursday night you got to, life. So beyond the fact that Joe is also working nights occasionally, it's become increasingly difficult, especially this year, to continue doing a game every week. So we are sort of figuring out what format that will take going forward. However, we will still continue doing a Wednesday night live stream at 8 o'clock at the very least once a month. So it might be the first Wednesday of a month. It might be the last Wednesday of a month. That will be most likely a long-term continuation story. It might be one-shots. I don't know. It'll be just like this. For the other 3 weeks in a month, we are going to be doing a Justin Reads. We are going to be doing a Harlan Games. So I'm going to be playing a Minecraft or a long-term video game with you guys. Maybe Destiny. Who knows? And then that last Wednesday is going to be sort of an up in the air right now. It may be another stream like this. It may be something just with myself streaming with somebody new. It might be an interview show. It might be an Invictus Academy show. It might be gaming again. It might be Justin Reads again. We don't know. But we are guaranteeing one game a month at Justin Reads, Harlan Games. All those will be monthly. So it sucks. I recognize that because we're going from 4 times a month to 1 time a month guaranteed. However, you're also getting more reading. You're also getting more gaming. And you're getting a brand new podcast, which features Rob and my brother.
It's weekly.
And it's weekly. So you're still going to get that weekly, which is going to be really, really cool. And I mean, a lot of this came from the idea that, we started Invictus because we wanted to sit around the table, quote unquote, with our friends. And slowly that has changed. I mean, again, when Justin and I started this, it was with Michael and Chris because we wanted to play Dragon Age. Now Michael and Chris aren't even really in the picture. And it's sad to a degree. We love playing with Rob, and I love playing with Joe. Don't get me wrong. It's changed the way it is. But it would be nice to get to sort of play in that same relaxed setting a little bit. And the podcast has given us an opportunity to play, I want to say, more true to ourselves to a degree. Is that a fair way to put it?
It's less performative.
Yeah.
It's less performative, and it's there is, I don't know, because it's still very game focused. Like, we are still pretty much just in the game.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I don't know. There's less pressure, I guess, and when the cameras aren't rolling, and you can like edit a little bit afterwards. Not that we edit too much. It's for sure.
So there is a different feel though, because we are doing that in the same room, and so that is now it's an event. It's traveling half an hour to get there, and then we're all in the same space, and it's the 5 minutes before, and we'll order dinner here somewhere, and like it's that whole feeling. I think that energy shows up in the episodes, in the recordings, in a way that connects them all and makes them sort of have just a different feel.
Totally. It's so different to have like a phone call or a chat like message with your friend versus like hanging out with them. You can really tell in the podcast, I think, that the energy is so much different.
And I've become a bit envious of it to a degree because since Joe and I started living together, I've appreciated so much more the ability to like look over and like, have a bit more banter with her. And I recognize how appreciative I am of that like immediate feedback. And that's something that I'm kind of falling in love with the podcast idea more than we are with Invictus. Not to mention, frankly, just, when we lost Google Hangouts and the whole format changed. Like, I don't mind this format, but I'm not in love with the everyone appears on screen at the same time. It kind of just feels a little bit normal too. So I'm thinking once a month game too, the writing and like what we're doing is going to be a little bit more special, where I think like when we started out, Call of Cthulhu and, Dragon Age and all this stuff, we put a lot of thought and effort into. And don't get me wrong, we put effort into our characters, and Joe has put a lot of effort in Apocalypse World as well. But we definitely did this system sort of as a bit of like what else can we try, rather than what do we really want to do. And even Call of Cthulhu, which I loved, and you guys did literally amazingly too, amazing for. We did do that a big part for the fans as well. So I think doing once a month live stream video is going to be pretty cool to see what we want to come up with as well.
It's so funny. Carly said, "Don't have to worry about connection issues or time buffers in person." Ha ha. And just as a little like Easter egg, the boys all sing together for just a second in the first episode.
No lag.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
See, now it's all lagging. It doesn't work.
But it actually works in the podcast. It's something that's like, I think it's really special. And all the characters that the guys have invented are so fun and so interesting. And their dynamic is already really cool. I'm super excited to see what it's going to turn into and who dies first.
Colin asked, are you willing to reveal what different games will be making appearances on the podcast? For now, we are only doing one game. We are focusing on Storm King's Thunder, which is a published adventure module by Wizards of the Coast. It is a big, hard book that Joe has read cover to cover. It's an open-ended D&D adventure, and it's really cool to really dive into a character. I mean, Rob has like put so much
Deep dive.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's just justifying all of my teenage years spent playing D&D to be like, oh man, I learned things there and they're stuck in my brain forever. I have to know those till the end of my life.
And he also asked, which is a really important question, also how will this affect Patreon Jackdaw level rewards where we used to receive notes from whatever games were streamed in the month? Will that just be a set of notes for a month, or will other things be added to that? So, Colin, great question. Patreon's going to have to change. And it's interesting you mentioned that because we've struggled a lot with the Jackdaw rewards for the past few months because Apocalypse World is different than any other game we've run. With Call of Cthulhu, I had a story and a note, like everything was pre-written, so it's easy to share notes. And this is things we love doing. With Apocalypse World, the amount of notes that we actually have are staggeringly small. The entirety of... Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
Page 80 of the core rulebook of Apocalypse World says the following. Do not pre-plan a storyline, and I'm not fucking around. That's directly from the author. So it's been really hard to make notes of any value for someone to make a game from because this isn't something that I invented ahead of time.
Yeah. So, and I totally recognize that. And we've been struggling to figure out a way to make that sort of come to fruition. And ultimately, the Patreon has allowed us to make this next project. It's allowed us, and right in the Patreon write-up, it says, thank you for supporting us. You're going to give us the opportunity to look into new projects, to try new things, i.e. better ideas and like things like a podcast. This has allowed us to make that podcast. This is the result of it. And we're going to have the rewards change so that it's reflective of the things that the podcast will also bring into the picture. Almost knocked over my glass of water.
We have been talking about extra things that we want to add to the Patreon. For example, Harlan's been talking about starting a podcast that is released only for patrons.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Little side sneaky things, extra content, like character creation, stuff like that.
Cutting room floor type stuff. Things that do not make the cut.
I think you're going to... I think... For the amount of people that were actually using the Jackdaw reward, which, I think a lot of people liked getting the notes, but I didn't get any feedback from people who were like, oh, I thank you so much for using the notes. And for most of the time, the people who did need the notes, I just sent them to. I think it was even Colin who was like, hey, do you have the notes for Project Lazarus? And I was like, yep, here you go. Like, it was... Actually, I made him send me a picture of you and McGregor. I was like, yes, one picture of you and McGregor, and you can have it. And he did. So, it's kind of like, I feel like it wasn't that great of a reward for people to an extent. So I'm hoping that this gives people more of a reward as well, and more of a feeling of being sort of in. And all of the great benefits of the INVICTUS stream, MVP is still going to...
going to say, we're still going to be including MVP on the podcast.
MVP is going to be in the podcast, which is cool because I think it's going to get a wider, listen and wider viewing audience because... I don't know. It's pretty fun, guys. The podcast is pretty entertaining.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, I in no way think it's going to be this big thing, but I think it is going to scratch a lot of your itches in a really satisfying way. I think the fans of us are going to be like, oh, this is actually really entertaining. It's sort of us more relaxed, more comfortable with each other, and like a little tighter. So all of the things where you're like, oh, that was a fun episode, I really liked that. It's like that, but hour after hour, and with us feeling like we can be our natural selves, which is kind of, I think, the thing that people most appreciate about us. So,
is it dumb that I listen to the episodes in the car?
No,
Or
you
I
listen
just,
to them so many times.
Listen to them all the time.
Yeah. She listened to the 4 episodes that we've done.
It's helpful. It is helpful to re-listen and to I feel so connected with the story because I've been listening to certain lines again and again, taking out little plosives and mouth clicks and stuff.
Yeah, me too. It's funny because there were things that I didn't even pick up the first time. I was like, oh, okay. I got to start making notes about this.
I gotta re-listen before we all get together again. I feel intimidated now. You are also intimately familiar, having dissected every element and decided what stayed in and what's gone. And there's an element of gotta be on.
Yeah. You're doing good. Rob is the kind of person who will go home after a session that we play together, and then you'll wake up and there's 8 messages from him where he's written a letter in character to an NPC, and he's talking about the backstory of his familiar.
It's so amazing. It's inspiring, really.
It was important to know what day of the year we started on and when the equinox was.
I love that you were hey guys, when's everyone's birthdays?
That was cute.
The characters' birthdays.
Yeah, I never would have thought of that.
No, I don't think I answered that. I don't remember that message.
No, you didn't answer it, but that's fine.
I didn't see it.
The best part is it wasn't a relevant question for some of the characters, and that's really interesting.
Red.
Wait,
Little kitty.
I don't want to do too much talking about this because we should get back to Apocalypse World in a second.
Yeah.
But Justin's character doesn't remember when his birthday is, right?
That's right. My character,
due to the backstory issues.
Due to the backstory, and this was, I never would have thought of this if it hadn't been for Rob's prompt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's added a little detail that I might get to work in a future session, which I'm very excited about. I will just say that Dice Shame, we do have a Facebook group. I think, Harlan, you probably mentioned that.
We do.
But I've Mike Fazio joined tonight. Colton Fowler joined tonight. If you're listening right now, watching, check out the Dice Shame Facebook group, and we're going to be updating through there. And
if you want a handy place to find all the social media links, I just launched the splash page for our website, which is still under construction. I just have a couple more things to tweak and work on, but it has all of the links to our different social media accounts if you go to diceshamepodcast.com.
Yeah. And I only because a lot of people have said they can't wait to hear the podcast, we should mention October 31st is the release date. If you are a Patreon supporter at the $10 higher, you will get it 1 week earlier.
Ooh.
First episode.
Oh.
You're just going to drop it in the...
Yeah. So we
I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we plan on releasing the titular episode.
That's a week from today. Oh, yeah. A week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow. So if you really want to hear it, if you are a Patreon supporter for $10 and higher, you already get it. If you
it's getting real.
If you're not, consider.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. I could talk about Dice Shame forever, but we got a pocket. I got to show the jar real quick.
The jar. There's one.
It's backwards because my camera. There's one in there. You want to know how it got in there? You should find out. Listen to the podcast. It's a fucker.
We should do around episode 100. Do a count how many dice are in the Dice Shame jar.
And if you guess the closest, no, because you could just listen back and count.
But you could listen back, but then that's going to reward the people who have been paying attention.
I'm excited for the Instagram posts of this dice is in the jar because with a little note of why it's been shamed.
That's the thing, man.
We'll have to start those.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us return to Apocalypse World.
So... we just finished talking to Garland Huxley. We've decided on our plan. We're standing in his blue cast penthouse suite What happens next?
Well, we know the plan. Garland, where's the entrance to the Chroniclers? How are you going to get us in there?
Well, with previous winners, I take them underneath the battle dome. There's a entrance there, and the Chroniclers do the rest.
And we can enter, Ruth and I, because we don't have the collars.
Probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't have a shaved head.
I shoot the chair again. Another, puff.
This was very expensive.
Oh, yeah? And I shoot again, but I miss the chair and I hit the wall behind him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not one of them. I don't know.
Fine. And I turn to Locke and I say away from Sorrow and I say, look. And I pat my bulky backpack that I took from the ambulance. I say, when you're done giving your little speech to the masses, fight your way through the crowd. Oh, no. Go to the tunnel under the battle dome. Right. And we'll meet you on the Chronicler end. And the three of us are going to finally see what this is all worth.
Wait, no. Actually, the order of things there. So, you and Ruth are going to go down there.
Bingo.
The tunnel.
Yeah.
You're going to find the Chroniclers.
Yeah.
You're going to kick some ass, or just convince your way, fuck your way in.
Meanwhile, your fight is going to start.
I'll fight. We're going to be fighting.
We'll
yada, yada.
probably not murder each other.
And then you will somehow get to a point where you're able to deactivate the collars.
Bingo.
Now, hey. Maybe Mr. Oxley knows how to deactivate the collars.
Hey, do you know how to deactivate the collars?
There's a wibbly wand thing.
A wand?
No, I mean all of them. Is there a way to turn them all off?
What? I don't know. I'm not really in the business of liberating.
I shoot the chair again.
Stop shooting this chair!
Fuck your chair. And so when they're deactivated, you're going to know. You and Sir are going to stop fighting. You're going to address the crowd, tell them to overthrow the Chroniclers, and try not to kill each other in the process. Then you're going to slip out to where Ruth and I are going to be let off right now, or in the next 20 minutes. And you're going to meet us in the Chroniclers, because we are all, you, me, and Ruth, we're going to get the information we so desperately have searched for.
There's got to be... I turn to Sorrow, and I kind of catch her attention. I say, there's got to be some sort of way that they are staying connected to all of these collars remotely. You know? Some sort of radio antenna or something like that. There's no way that they'd be able to just hold on to some sort of little device. There's some way that all of these are connected. I don't know, with all your experience, Sorrow, as a mechanic, maybe you would know something or other about that.
I mean, I know about cars. I don't know about...
Radio. Cars have radio.
Are these not cars?
I don't... Are there wires in the air that I can't see?
Well, you never... Oh.
Locke, we'll figure it out. Hex and I
don't... I'm sorry.
We got it covered. Right, Ruth?
Yeah.
Well, I've got faith. And we're just going to fight. We're going to put on a good show and keep it interesting for as long as we humanly can.
And not die.
So, I want to do this split screen style.
Good thing we're split screen.
What is that face, Justin?
It's my creepy clown face.
That's your what upper lip face?
Yeah,
This upper
it's
lip.
so spooky.
I've done this in a end of the world game once.
How many dozens of teeth do you have?
Scared me.
I have all the teeth.
So
How
we're
you
gonna have Ruth and Hex on one side of the screen, and we're gonna have Locke and Sorrow on the other side of the screen.
I can't mix people like that.
That's not what I'm saying.
I can try it though.
No, that's not what
Just
I'm...
wait. Let me see.
So
We're using our imaginations.
Yeah, move me there.
For real?
if
Yeah, and then
we're doing it live.
Yeah.
Are our screens slowly shifting over in the view?
Not slowly. I just did it very quickly. There, split screen.
Great.
Now I'm below Rob. Hey, Rob.
Hi.
Where am I? Where am I?
You're above Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, Joe. It's just like Discord.
You're idiots.
This guy.
Do it backwards.
I meant you're idiots, and I'm on the screen.
Anyway, so what happens next?
Garland Huxley leads. I'll DM. Garland Huxley leads us to the battle dome.
Sorry, I'm very tired.
I'm just teasing.
Harlan, when this is all over, meet us in the graveyard.
Who said that?
I did.
Ruth says that to
who?
Harland. I mean
To
Garland.
Garland.
What?
Garland.
We're not meeting in the graveyard.
Harlan.
Do you not know the plan?
No, when all of this is over, after that, you wanted a way out, Garland, and it's in the graveyard. Go
That's
there.
a good point.
You,
Once everyone starts going crazy, what's to keep them from tearing me apart?
you'll be in the graveyard, and it'll be okay.
Kindness, I'm sure.
We'll see. He leads us all downstairs, past the guards, past the crowds, and people start paying attention as soon as we leave the building. There are people following us as we approach the battle stadium. Already there are crowds just thronging the place. There are these big images of Locke and Sorrow, and she's loving it. She's loving the attention. She's flipping her braids around. She's shooting people evil looks and like kissy faces in equal measure. And we stride our way toward the battle dome. There's like these big cars like slowly driving and revving their engines, like stupid hydraulics going around. They have like antlers on them and stuff. And
then like people are like blaring music. Goodbye, stranger. It's been nice. And like Hack's like Super Tramp.
What's the matter with the clothes I wear?
Billy Joel.
it's like black smoke pouring out of these huge
Michael
chimneys.
Jackson. Just such a weird array of music.
Yeah.
Everyone's covered in like spikes and leather.
And does Garland
chewing
Huxley
old
make an
gum.
appearance? Do we have an announcement?
No, he's sort of like keeping his head down and sort of like skulking ahead of you.
So
He's
it's
leading
music
us
then.
to the
It's just
secret.
music.
I mean, he's
Entrance.
wearing.
He will rock you.
Yeah, he's wearing this gold suit, and everyone knows who he is. But he's kind of like weaseling his way forward, and
Fart, pee.
he
Fart,
leads
pee.
us into the Coliseum. There's a side door that we enter, and he turns to the four of us, and he goes,
Oh, it's not started yet.
"All right, here's what's going on. I'm gonna go up to my box, where I observe the matches. And you two," he points at Sorrow and Locke, "you'll go to your cages. These are places where you wait to be let into the arena. And, you'll do your thing and impress everyone, and we'll see how that goes. And in the meantime," and he walks backward a few steps into the darkness and pulls this lever, and two doors slowly swing forward into the darkness. And it's just a totally pitch dark tunnel, and he goes, "You'll have to go down that way."
Ruth starts walking sort of slowly, confidently. She's got this shotgun sort of in her hand, hanging low on one side, and she pulls the hood back to let this weird earpiece sort of really show up, and starts walking into the darkness.
And Hex like eyes Ruth and then eyes Sorrow and then looks at Locke and he's like, I don't know which of us I'd rather be right now, but good luck. And
Me
he
too.
gives him
Same to you, X.
a hand and like a half hug.
Same to you. Best of luck in there.
Sorrow pulls out this long blade and just hefts the blade and sort of catches it, throwing it in the air as she walks down the hallway.
We're gonna die next to crazy women, Locke. And I
Sorrow.
turn around and sing, "Goodbye, stranger. It's been nice."
Yes, Locke?
Into the darkness.
He always thought he was a good singer. I suppose he's not wrong. Listen, we're trying to put on a good show here. So, you do your best to make it interesting, and I'll do my best. If that means not pulling punches, then I expect you not to. But let's try to keep the lethalness down.
I figure we toy with the rest of them for as long as we can. Put off killing each other until the very end.
Oh, there's more people? I thought it was just the two of us.
Well, there's appetizers.
Oh, gotcha. All right, well, do savor those appetizers then, love.
I will. And she walks off.
All right. Where's my cage then?
Hex and Ruth, you are walking down a dark hallway. The echo of metal underneath your feet. And slowly the tunnel brightens. What do you see?
A bright light.
Let's
Ruth,
play.
should I go towards
let's
it?
play Invent a Bunker.
Oh.
All right, my favorite. I mean, I imagine the first thing we might come across is a one of those doors that's like a really sealed bulkhead with the big like, central sort of bulkhead style
It's
open
like a
up to
vault.
Yeah, like almost like a submarine
steering
door
wheel
is what I'm.
thing.
Yeah,
Totally. And
and like
along
a
the
radio
top,
box or something.
there's like a couple of lights that are flashing in strange patterns. You don't see anyone.
I walk over on the wall. There's like a few light switches, which are all flicked on. And I'm like, that was easy. And I walk over and like flick a light switch. Do you think they're deactivated now? I didn't hear any sound.
Can I read a sitch?
You certainly can.
Where did my dice go? Yeah, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to ask one question.
Please.
What's the best way in?
The best way in is certainly through this vault door. And you know that your collar is not going to give you away.
Yeah, so I think just going to try the door. Just crank on the handle to see if I can get it to open while he's flipping switches over there.
Mm-hmm. It's rusty, but it gives. You feel the steering wheel slowly, hesitatingly move underneath your hand, and you push in. And you see this domed roof above you. It's a rectangular room, and there are tanks. These big metal tanks on the left side. There's about 8 of them. It looks maybe like a brewery, we would think of it as, but the tanks are more horizontal. What?
Chronicler Brewery.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought that was purposeful.
That's a funny thing. Wink.
As Ruth enters, she turns back to Hex. And, you two did well. Come on.
Eh? I keep following. Ruth, why do you keep saying I'm 2 people? You're making me very self-conscious. Do I have a large zit or something coming out of my neck?
There is a spirit you are carrying with you. There are, I don't understand myself, but you're walking with someone in your footsteps too.
Is this like some god thing when there was only one set of footsteps I was carrying? Blech.
Certainly not.
Thank God.
If you like.
I'm just saying I feel like myself, and you're making me freaked out saying that there's 2 of me. Maybe keep it down to just Hex for now?
Garland Huxley stands at the top of his booth with a chalice in one hand and an old-timey microphone hanging from the ceiling. He's clutching in the other hand, and he addresses it crooningly. His voice echoes throughout this huge stadium. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's been quite a year, hasn't it? Looking back, we've seen some really amazing champions. Hugo. Do you guys remember Hugo? He was a good one. Oh, thank you, yes. He did get his head ripped off by Kamikaze Kim. She had thighs like we've never seen. I'll never forget her. Sorry. Goat people. Mongrels. Chroniclers. Today's a very special day. An occasion as you've never seen. Hold on to your seats. We've got two of the most amazing champions I've ever seen. Sorrow, beauty from the oil sands. The beheader, the skinny. And then we have Locke, the undressed.
That's all you get.
That's me.
Who will win? It's a beautiful thing. Seeing these people stretched to their limit, pulled to the very breaking point, lustful for blood. And you, my faithful audience. Aww. We have fun, don't we? Yes, thank you. Sorrow is like strutting around like a 10 square foot area. She's like twirling her blades and swinging her hair around and doing like little karate kicks. And then she runs back to her cage and she gets on a fucking motorcycle and rides out into the sands of this arena. She's like, yeah. The crowd goes crazy.
And Locke is going to. Does his cage open automatically? Is it on
Yeah,
time
yeah.
lock? All right.
Yeah.
And he's going to step out into sunlight and just kind of look around at the audience and wave a couple choice people. Garland Huxley.
People are throwing items down onto the sands, things that are items of adoration, articles of clothing. There's like the odd piece of food. There's like an apple, things that would be considered valuable.
Someone throws a giant like gong.
But then there's also like ammo. People throw, you know what I mean? There's like a mace flies out of nowhere and lands in the soft sand at your feet. People are offering their weapons for your choosing.
Interesting. So I don't have my Kasarigama.
You do, yeah, but people are like, use my axe to kill her.
All right. So, and then what about the others? Are there other people here?
Yeah, there are. There are 3 goat men who are released from one cage. Goat men and women. It's hard to tell from this distance. And they seem to be like talking quietly together, looking furtively and frightened, scaredly around.
So casually, before things have actually gotten heated or started, really, the momentum is still kind of low. So I'm going to walk over. I'm going to pick up a few weapons and just take my time looking them over, deciding whether or not I'm going to use them. And then I settle on this I pick up a mace, I pick up an axe, and then I pick up this apple. I'm going to hold this apple in my hand and I'm gonna raise it up into the sky. Like that is my chosen.
People are excited about that. Sorrow is like, I don't know if it's called donuts if you're on a motorcycle versus on a car, but she's just like doing wheelies and shit.
Burnouts or
Burnouts,
wheelie?
yeah. And there's a couple of other humans at the other side. So I'm picturing like Sorrow's at 12 o'clock. Locke is at 6 o'clock. We have goat people at 9 o'clock. And then there's like a couple of humans over at 3 o'clock. And they're similarly like digging through the sand for their choice of equipment. Ruth and Locke, as you make your way into this cavernous tank chamber, 2 men, bald men in blue cloaks, enter from your right, about 50 feet down. They are at first obscured by some tallish pieces of blinking and beeping equipment, but it is clear that they will see you.
2 bald men?
If you don't do anything else.
Is it Phil Collins and Billy Joel?
No. It is. No, it's 2
It's
chroniclers.
Terry Crews and The Rock.
That's right. It's Terry Crews and The Rock. You're fucked. One.
I mean, I can seduce them and manipulate them. What do you think, Ruthie?
There's not much time.
I'm gonna seduce, manipulate them.
Nope, you manoose them.
I maneuver them. I'm gonna perform my art. We're in like an echoey chamber, right?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I remember. Don't worry.
Don't be.
How could I ever forget?
I'm so for this plan. Let's just step out. And
I'm
say
doing
hi to
it.
them
I'm
while
doing
you're
artful
saying,
and
yeah.
gracious. Oh, the first time. And I start climbing down.
What do you do?
The last time.
What role is that?
It's artful and gracious. I perform my chosen art.
It's not a role. It's just a
Yeah.
thing that you do. Skinners are so OP.
No, it is a role. Hold on. When you perform a cherry,
Everyone does everything that you want, and
but I am
You are
but I'm
invincible.
nice. I'm not making everyone. Okay, I roll. Yeah, product of my audience. So I'm climbing down as I'm singing. I'm gonna roll plus hot. Mm-hmm. The first time, the last time we ever met. Oh, I know the reason.
what did you roll?
I'm counting. 12.
Oh, what do you get on a 12?
Perfect pitch.
So on a 10 plus, I can spend 3. This person must meet me. This person has my services. This person loves me. This person must give me a gift. This person admires me. So I'm gonna say
There's 2 dudes.
Yeah. So one of the guys loves me, and one of the guys must have my services. Must give me a gift. I don't know. What do you think, Ruth?
I like gift a lot.
Yeah, must give me a gift, and one loves me.
They round the corner and come into view fully, and you can see one of them has started spontaneously weeping. The look in his eyes is a mix of sorrow and joy, and he starts walking toward you. The other one stays put. He seems unsure of himself.
This is the one that loves me walking towards me.
It's hard to tell.
I can feel it coming.
I want to read the one who's standing back. I just want to step out so they're looking at me, and there's this psychic connection between us as I get a good sense of what's going on in their mind, and I use my casual brain receptivity to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 7. So I get one question. What's that character really feeling? The one at the back who's holding back there.
Indecision.
The one that wants to give me a gift.
Yeah.
What choices are they weighing?
They're weighing their options about what they might have in their possession that could be good enough for Hex.
So cute.
They're looking Hex up and down and going, No, he surely doesn't need money. No.
Child, I know the gift you could give this one that would honor him. I know what you're thinking. I can see it. Because we're bringing you a gift too. And all we need is a guide to this place. That would be the best gift of all. If you could show us the way, you could lead us all somewhere beautiful, just like that voice led you somewhere beautiful.
The man who is approaching Hex, he's cleanly shaven. It's clear that he's not naturally bald, but that he keeps a shaved head. And the tattoos on his face look like dotted tears coming all down from his eyes. And as he approaches you, Hex, he says, "Where have you been?"
Waiting for you. And I'm going to lead him off and say, Ruth will be back in 1 minute. I just need to give him the old one too. And I'm going to leave him somewhere and I'm going to sucker him and kill him.
It's been so long since I've heard such a
I'm going to keep singing like way off until I lead him to like a darkened corner, and I'm just going to stab him in the head.
Yeah, it's like at the peak of the song.
Yeah.
He's definitely unsuspecting, so I think sucker is appropriate in this situation. Ruth, you are talking to this second man. You say that you know exactly what that he can give you. So he speaks across this distance. He seems hesitant to move forward to you, and he says, "What do you mean? You need a guide? The chroniclers know much. What do you seek?"
There's much to be afraid of, but child, friend, today will be transformative. Lead us to where these collars, where they control them. Lead us to where they can be turned off. Lead us so that we can all take the first step toward freedom together. And I know it's scary, and I know there are sacrifices that must be made, but this is a step towards beauty, and you know deep in your soul you need to take it. Can I manipulate this one?
Yeah, you'd have to. I don't think he's going to give that up.
Can I aid if I come back out?
You're far away murdering someone right now.
I got an unnatural lust transfixion. I can seduce and manipulate with weird. So
okay, let's see that happen.
Let's see what happens there.
You're definitely looking weirder than ever.
9.
What does that give me?
They'll do it if they'll go along with me as long as we give them some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first.
How do you give concrete evidence of transcendence?
I mean,
I would argue I think you're going to have to share some psychic maelstrom with this person.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I'm gonna step down and like across the distance between us as we're sharing these words, and I know, and just tell them I know us being here isn't enough. Others have come this far. Others have hoped for a world where seeds could grow and things didn't turn to shit and warlords didn't hoard over everything. But it's different now. I've come back from the dead, and I'm gonna take off this sweater and show the scars of where both I was butchered and then where I was put back together, and that one has the voice of an angel.
Reaches out a shaking hand towards your flesh with questing eyes, and he says, "I have seen this." And then he touches your skin.
Yeah, let's open our brains up.
Let's do it.
I want to come back just
you come
to
back
you.
as this is happening.
Oh no, I want to come
sorry.
back with you, an exploded head in your hands, and just bits of like brain all over you. You're like, hey, crazy.
So you're gonna tell us something new and interesting about the current situation, but it's only an impression because I got a 7 and 9.
Okay.
I got a 9 actually.
New and interesting about the current situation. There is a wild light, psychic light coming from off to the left of the chamber. It's a glow. It's a glow like 1,000 candles. It's coming through the wall.
Friend, you see it too. You see off to the west this glow, this new sunrise. We need to go there.
And his eyes are like bleeding as he's touching you, and he's like convulsing.
I'm gonna hold his hand sort of against my chest for a minute, and then when there's this appropriate moment as that light's coming, I just want to be standing beside him, holding his hand as we're looking off in this direction. As when Hex comes back with
Locke. 3 goat people wielding machetes are running directly at you. They are dressed in jean jackets. It seems to be a kind of uniform that they've adopted, maybe for spirit bolstering. They're about 4.5 feet tall, but they look real ready to chop you up.
I reckon you'll want a bite of this forbidden fruit, don't you? And I'm going to, as I look up from the apple, I'm going to use dangerous and sexy.
Ooh, what happens now?
I'm going to roll the dice and roll my heart. And when you enter a charged situation, roll plus heart. I'm just going to try to get that eye contact, you know?
Definitely.
So, see if I can stop them in their tracks. All right, that's a 9 there.
Okay, what happens?
So, on a hold, I get to hold one. I get to spend it to make eye contact with an NPC present who freezes or flinches and can't take action until I break it off. On a miss, your enemy identified. Yeah, until I break it off.
So you succeed on one of them.
So, I'm not going to actually use it right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to hold my hold.
Ah, that's why it's called a hold.
That's right. And I'm going to throw the apple up into the air as high as I can. Mm-hmm. And as I reach back, I grab my chain with my blade on it. I'm going to begin spinning it around, and I'm going to try to stop them in their tracks by taking their bloody legs off.
Yeah, and your weapon has like an area of effect, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's got chain, 1 harm hand area.
Yes, area. So you have to wait until they all get within chopping range of you.
Right.
Let's see what happens. So we are going to do battle.
Let's do battle.
And that means that we get to do battle moves. So we exchange harm on each other.
All right. Do I have to
Doing
roll
single
for
combat. No quarters, exchange harm, but first roll plus hard. So both of us roll, or you roll plus hard.
All right. Come on, big. Oh, fuck. Come on.
No.
That's
you roll?
my second free of the night.
Oh boy.
All right. So that's a 3.
Oof,
So
oof.
what's the damage there for me?
So we're still going to exchange harm, all of us. But
Right.
on a miss, I get to choose one against you, to inflict terrible harm or to suffer little harm. Your weapon deals -1 harm,
All right.
I believe. Or
My
sorry,
weapon
is
does
it a 1
3.
harm? It does 3 harm.
3 harm, yeah, because it's got the +1 for harm area, hand area, and then long blade is +2 harm.
Dang it.
Yeah.
We have goat meat no matter what. So they're going to
Well,
choose
take
to
it.
inflict terrible harm upon you. They just
don't
have to
blame them.
get, way too close to get to anywhere near. They just have to get so close for you to bring your long blade to bear that they get in chopping range, and they do chop you. Sorry, I'm just looking for weapon statistics. You have armor as well, do you not?
I've got weapon statistics in front of me. I do have armor.
Weapons and armor.
What are they holding right now?
I said they're all holding machetes, which is 3 harm hand messy. Which means they're all going to be dealing +1 harm. So everyone deals 4 harm. How much armor do you have?
Well, I've got 2 armor.
Okay. So that's nearly fatal.
Not for me. Wait, 6 points of damage
Yes.
No. Would it be 4 minus 2?
each.
Oh, from each of them. Okay, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's bad.
That's pretty bad.
Alright. That's just half my health. I've got 12 health. I'm a fucking battle babe, baby.
Sure.
I can fucking take it. Alright, but how are they doing?
They're all dead.
Right. That's
kill
what
all
I
I mean, this
All
is his like 6th battle. I think he's used to this.
Oh, and I just feel the adrenaline rush as all these machetes just start hacking into my flesh, and I'm like, ah! And my
What happens to the
loincloth
apple?
starts to rise up a little.
What happens to
What's
the
that?
apple? Yeah.
It lands down.
The apple, it lands. Oh, do I catch the apple? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I almost forget. I almost forget about the apple because I'm in such a rush of pain and ecstasy with the pain. And I just out of the corner of my eye, I see it falling down, just this shadow getting closer and closer. And I have to look up. My plan was to not look up, but I have to at this point. And I catch it out of the air. I take 3 bites of it.
As you do, Sorrow out of nowhere like does a jump over some wild like piles of rock and some crates that are just like this random terrain in the environment, and she hollers over her shoulder at you, "I thought you said we were taking our time with this," as she like pulls a crossbow out from behind her back and just skewers someone who is running up beside you. And then she takes off on her bicycle. I mean motorcycle.
I don't even have time to respond. How many more of these appetizers are there?
There's 2 more humans over in the east side of the field. Hex, you come back from your murdering.
I feel like I have like blood visibly on me too.
Of course you do.
So long as it doesn't detrimentally affect.
It's actually kind of becoming. You have like red
What I mean to say is I think
freckles.
it's like funny if Hex comes back like just covered in blood, when realistically if I'm like playing the game, I would kill him in a way that I wouldn't leave evidence. But I think it's more funny for me to just come back bloody, so long as you don't make me pay for it after.
Of course.
Good. Then yeah, I come back like bloody, like my hands are all covered in blood, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Why are your hands on his head?
Look at him. He's stained with sacrifice. The price isn't paid, and now you need to lead us.
Fuck, Ruth, you're scary. All right, lead us, bud.
What's your name?
Hello?
Oh, what?
Would you cut off his tongue?
He'll be fine.
It's Marky.
All right, Marky, lead us to the deactivation center, please.
Yes. And he stumbles down the room toward the very end. There's a large door, and he turns and looks over his shoulder, kind of a panicked face, and he keys in an access code. The door slides open, and he moves into the room. The room contains a lot of old school analog type electronics. This is like 1970s computer type stuff. A lot of paper ribbons, a lot of really large noisy consoles. And he moves over to a control panel in the middle of the room. It's octagonally shaped, and there are a number of different keyboard stations. And he just sort of stands there bewildered. Gestures.
Crack, 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 crack. All right. Have at it, Ruth. I go sit in the corner because I don't know.
I think I'm still holding Marky's hand.
All right, I'll do it.
Marky's, clinging to you.
You want to do it, Ruth, or do you want me to do it?
Marky, which one turns the collars off?
I don't know. We don't turn them off. I mean, we do it one by one, so I guess...
Can I read a sitch in the computers? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, read a computer situation.
I'm a computer.
That's not a thing.
I'm a computer. So 9 plus
Did
sharp.
you really roll? 10.
Well, let's read a sitch. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, would you like to ask where the enemies are?
Let me see.
What should he be on the lookout for is relevant.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Okay, well, how do I make it work then?
He sits down in front of a terminal and sort of helplessly gestures and points at a keypad.
And I sit down at it and press on.
Blinking lights all over the room start to flicker.
Yeah, and I start. What's on the screen?
It's, I don't know, I guess you do read and write.
Yeah, of course. It's like my thing.
I don't know, you tell me.
Access main control. Access main compartment. Didn't say the magic word.
Yes, it's a Jurassic Park reference.
Please! Yeah, I mean, like, I'm guessing it's DOS.
Yeah, it's DOS, for sure.
Perfect. So yeah, I navigate to the C drive by hitting, mount CD C .. /enter. Oh, I remember. C .. /enter. dir list of directory files. Navigate to that file.
Yeah, you find some shit.
Y'all didn't think I knew DOS, did you?
With all of your extensive DOS knowledge.
Ruth would like to walk up behind Hex. Hex, how are you feeling right now?
Go! Don't do that. You are freaking me out, Ruth. Can I read a person?
Yeah.
Would never have thought that she'd be crazy, but I don't know. Maybe she's gonna.
Why would you not feel like she would be crazy?
Well, because she was my Ruth, but lately she's been freaking me out. So I'm gonna read a person. It's roll plus sharp. Can I just carry that one over because I never did anything with it?
What?
I rolled to read a sitch, but you told me not to. But I rolled a 10. It was nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I carry it over? Thanks. Okay, so 10 on him. So I ask 3. Wait, rate a person. So
when you want. Doesn't have to be all right now.
Right. What does your character intend to do?
She intends to. She intends to try and inspire you to do this. She knows that you have this in you, but that also the lives of every single person out there who's got a collar around their necks are in your hands. If wrong fingertip here could kill all of them, could end all hope for all of them. But she knows you're going to put the right numbers in, the right keystrokes in. Whatever this is, she doesn't understand it, but knows that you hold all those lives in your hands and wants to help you help them.
Okay. So what does your character intend to do? Oh wait, you already asked that. Didn't I ask that?
And so she intends to like talk you through it, to check in with where you're at and talk.
She's not going to kill me.
No, she has like only loving, helpful intentions.
All right, I'll ask the other two after that. I'm just like, all right, Ruth, just give me, and then like the password comes up. I'm like, oh shit, I can get to it, but I need the password. What's the password?
Hex.
Okay, HEX, enter. No, why would you guess that? We only have 2 more tries.
Okay. Hex, I need you to close your eyes for a minute and tell me the story of us finding this. When you tell this story, I know inside you know this password. And so when you are telling the story of how this went, what is the password? What is the password that will bring the audience to tears, that freedom is because of this? what password would the Chronicles put in here? You know this password. It's inside you, Hex. Close your eyes and find the password.
That's
What
interesting.
the fuck are you talking about?
Because
Tell me the story, Hex.
yeah, Hex, you are kind of like most intrinsically linked to this organization, being that these cultists gather stories.
What the fuck? Now you smash cut back to the other guy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Smash cut back to Locke and Sorrow. Sorrow is motoring up to the two remaining humans who are both cowering behind a set of boulders. What do you do, Locke?
And Locke is going to begin looking at the audience and begin I don't know, trying to get a sense of what they want. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to like raise my arms and I'm going to try to raise the crowd and get them shouting and clapping, and then I'm going to turn to Sorrow. I'm just going to cross my arms, holding
He's
the
watching
apple,
her.
and I'm just going to watch her, and I'm going to like gesture to the crowd like.
That's awesome. You're losing like substantial amounts of blood, but you are unfazed by this.
And I'm also trying to keep myself from getting a little too overwhelmed from the excitement of it all.
Garland Huxley is, I mean, you have been in your share of battle domes over the past 2 weeks. He is uncharacteristically quiet. And as you watch Sorrow get off of her bike and dispatch these two humans with wide chops of her katana, he doesn't say anything. He's just sitting there up in the box. And after she finishes killing these people, he approaches the microphone and he says, "Well, ladies, gentlemen, goat people, this is the moment of truth. And I hope you're all ready for what's about to happen. Have fun!" And he sort of melts back into the shadows of his spectator box. Sorrow looks at the crowd with her back to you for a moment, and then she turns and faces you. Her hands drip blood into the sand. And she starts walking slowly toward you, Locke.
And I go to take a bite of the apple and I stop. And I wipe it a bit off. I just toss it a few times and say, "Well, I'm right here. Why don't you come get me?"
You look like you took a little bit of a beating.
No, it's just part of the fun. I like to get my hands dirty, so to speak. How about you? You don't look like you've seen a scratch.
I don't like to get injured. It's not very becoming.
Well then, you're gonna have to work pretty hard. Shall we do this?
See. And she runs at you with her sword upraised.
Then I'm going to do something under fire. I'm going to dodge out of the way and take a bite of the apple.
I like that. Roll for it.
All right. This is where I can really shine because my fucking cool is through the roof. All right, that's 11.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so you do it. You do it and it looks cool. So she takes an extra step as you dodge smoothly underneath her blade, and the sword sticks and bites deeply into the sand.
There are more ways to take a hit than actually getting injured, love.
She turns and looks at you over her shoulder as she yanks the blade free, and there is only fire in her eyes. Ruth? Hex?
I don't get what you mean. What do you mean I know the story for this shit? What are you talking about? Locke is up there fighting, and if we don't figure out the fucking password...
You already know the password. And I know that doesn't make any sense. Just turn away from the computer. Just look at me for a second, Hex. Just tell me the story. Tell me from the time we left Garland Huxley and headed down that dark corridor. Tell me the story of what happens to us.
Okay, fine. I'll try it your fucking way. And Hex, like, closes his eyes for a second and, like, reaches his place of, like, acting. And almost like a light switching on, he opens his eyes again, and he's smiling as if he's standing in front of a crowd, even though he's just sitting in front of Ruth. And with the same energy and confidence as if addressing a room full of people, despite one crazy man in the corner and Ruth, he moves around the room.
We see it from two perspectives. When it's Hex talking, you're back in the gem, and you're talking to these dimly lit tables. You're standing up on the stage, and then when Ruth is looking at you, you're back in this bunker in the Chronicler's place with a drooling Marky losing his mind.
I almost love it, almost from Marky's perspective too, across the room, and it's just these two figures on the other side with his like computer background in this dark chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, fear not, for the tale is about to begin. And I'm like saying this with my eyes closed, and yet in the gem, I'm like wide-eyed walking across the tables.
Spotlit.
Within the depth, the sacred place, both Ruth and Hex did tread. Despite the obstacles they faced, they knew the way ahead. Within the concrete walls they searched. A guide did lead the way, in bitter grieves anxious they perched, while silently Ruth prayed. They reached the final room, and so, locked behind a wall, the password only Hex could know was the word. And I open my eyes and turn around. Disenthrall. And I type it in. Set free. It makes sense. And immediately, will you tell us what happens?
Thank you.
Sorry.
Ruth and Hex, you see on the screen a hourglass turning over a few times, and then the screen just wipes. Back in the stadium, you hear a raucous clamor, an electronic symphony of alerts, all happening within a fraction of a second of each other. The same like that I did earlier, which was note for note, the one that I just did.
Exactly the same.
Pretty much identical.
Perfect. Spot on.
And then click, 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 click everywhere as the collars all drop off. And Sorrow turns to you, breathing hard, and says, "Now what do you say?"
Ladies and gentlemen, you have a change of hosts this day. My name is Lark, and this is my friend here, Sorrow. I'll tell you what, you may have noticed that the collars around your neck have been deactivated. Well, you know what that means? It means a couple things. First, that this plan to get ourselves out of this sticky situation, I say as I rip the collar off my neck and throw it on the ground, has come to pass. Second, and I hold up the apple, and I say, this here might look like an apple, but actually what it is fucking freedom. Would you like a bite? And I throw it up into the crowd.
You see as the stands, the audience members start to roil with blood and fury. there is a huge revolution ongoing between the Go people and the few chroniclers who are in the crowd watching this spectacle, and the prisoners, or the until recently slaved. It's bloody, and people are starting to riot. Sorrow takes your hand and starts running for the tunnel. And Ruth, the light is still pouring through the wall at you.
I turn to face it and sort of put myself between Hex and the light, and just sort of. Can you feel it?
There's a door here in this room that leads
tonight?
toward it. You don't see anything, Hex.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ruth. We did it. I don't know why the fuck that worked, but it worked. Look. What are you looking at?
You're amazing. You're going to do so good. I walk towards this other door.
Do you open it?
Yeah.
Behind the other door, there is a small room fitted with a projector. There are several old-style cinema seats, heavily stained, but still faintly smelling of popcorn. That's all. And the light for you is blinding.
Where is it coming from?
The light is coming from this whole room.
Okay.
You see Ruth open a door and walk into a small dark room.
Oh.
Yeah, I walk towards the center of the light, and I start playing with this device that I've installed on the side of my head, trying to tune and dial it in, trying to get to the right frequency, trying to get any help I can to sort of filter out the parts of this that don't make sense, to put it into a way that my brain can understand.
Yeah, it's like crawling through TV static.
Yeah. I don't know, is that opening my brain? Is that?
Do you want to?
I mean, why not at this point? You got it, right? Couldn't live with myself if I didn't. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Can I help
that's
him?
double ones. That's double ones. So 4.
XP?
Yeah, I am at the mercy of the psychic maelstrom. What?
I mean, Zia did spend XP.
There are multiple XPs.
3 times over.
Sure. All right, so we want to roll an extra die? Is that the...
Yeah.
Sure, so that was a 1 and a 1, or a 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, still doesn't get me there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let it happen. I surrender to the psychic maelstrom.
A voice comes from Hex. One that you recognize, but not as his. And it says, I see you, Ruth. And you are flashed back to your death. You experience that pain again, all over your body. And one of the old wounds actually opens up, one of the places that Hex repaired you and put you back together. And blood starts to soak through your clothes.
I knew you'd catch up to me eventually.
Yeah. You take 1 harm.
For sure.
And...
Please leave my friend. Please come to me.
The light dims and flickers and goes away, and now you're standing alone in this room.
Can I follow him into the room?
Yeah, of course.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
You see that she's bleeding.
And I walk in, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Sit down, and I like look around for something frantically. Do I see this projector?
Yeah, you do. It's right in the middle of the room.
Oh shit. Is this what I think it is? And I swing my bag off my back, and I reach in and I pull out Grundle's head, which I've been bringing since the ambulance. And I'm like, I think this is it. And I slam the head down into this projector with this like large open half bowl with spikes on the inside. For some reason is how I picture it.
No, that's perfect. And actually the machine like starts grinding the head up.
Yeah.
And like liquefying it, and the wheels on the projector start turning, and it's like old-timey, rickety, like you see this projection on the wall come to life. It's like the wall is like bad plaster, cracked and falling apart in places, but despite that, you see images come to life. You see a landscape that's familiar to you, to back in Kashmir. It's similar, but it's south of there. You remember seeing a lake once or twice, and it's there. You see a bike gang similar to the one that raided Kashmir, and you see the twins. They're joking around, riding bikes next to Grundle, you presume, the author of this memory, and he looks to his left and to his right and laughs hard and long. And then you see a fire. They've camped down for the night, and people are telling stories about what they're about to find. You hear someone say, "They say the end times never reached it. They say it's all still Lux and Power On. They say they came in boats, and they take people to that island and they never come back. We gotta find it. Grundle, this is gonna be the biggest fucking haul we've ever seen." And then the camera floats over the land in the daylight, over the water, and we see an island. And you see motorboats traveling around in circles and fishing vessels. And you see a power plant.
Fuck me. Ruth, this is it. And I look over at her. Don't you see? This is what we were looking for. Fucking, that's what you want. That's your fucking hope. Do you not see that?
Oh, I see it. I see it clear as day. This is the dream, and it exists.
And I walk over and I help Ruth up. Look, we got it. Let's go get it.
I want to fast forward now. I want to see a small clip, a life update like they do in the movies at the end of the show. Where are they now? I want to see like 1 minute in the life of, after this revelation, after you've left this fucking death heap. What do you do with this information, and who have you become? This is like 2 years down the road. What is Ruth doing? What is Hex doing? What is Locke doing? Do you still know each other? I want to see it.
Ruth is sitting in a tent, and it's a fairly big tent. It's enough to hold 20 people, but it looks like it's recently set up. It looks like it's the sort of thing that gets set up and torn down every week or so and moved around. And she is just finishing creating this perfect fire in this, like just a beautiful campfire in the center, and laying out some, like there's a clay pot and a bundle of sticks and a brass, a piece of metal, and then a piece of like computer board sort of and some other stuff at different points around it. And as she finishes and sort of goes to her knees in the center of it, people start walking in and sitting beside her in a circle around her. And eventually the room fills up and the smoke sort of carries out, and you sort of like a drone shot flying out of the center of the, up with the smoke. It just sees the tent in the center of this camp, and almost like a dotted line of the path she's leading people on towards the lake. They haven't found it yet. They haven't found this island yet, but they're traveling and trying to be worthy enough to find it and to not screw it up when they get there. Trying to be people who won't wreck something beautiful.
Lark is sitting on a. He walks over to this kind of put together bench, and he's walking with a limp. He's actually never quite been the same since that fight in the arena, and it's been a long time, and he still hasn't really been able to get back into a battle. So he sits down, and there's some grey that's started in the roots of his locks, and he reaches into his kind of burly overcoat. He pulls out a book, and he flips the page, and he's going through it, and the title of the book is "I Love You Forever." It's a children's book.
Aww.
And he's like piecing through it slowly. Every now and then he looks up, and then he closes his eye. He goes back to it, lowers his eyes to it, and then he gets to the last page, and he reads the last words, and he smiles, and he closes the book. Then he drops it on the ground. He reaches into his coat. He pulls out another book, and this one is much thicker. And he puts it on his lap, and on the front is a golden cross and the words that say "Holy Bible." And he opens that up, and he starts to try to read that.
Nice.
Hex pulls back the flap and like clears his throat on his house. He like stretches and spits at the side. The blue water on the lakefront sort of like washes against, and like some kids run by him. He's like, "Slow down.
Fuck you, mister!
Fuck you!" And he looks around, and everyone around is like joyful still. They're like happy, but they're still wearing sort of their post-apocalyptic stuff. And some lady walks up and she's like, "Hex, we need to know what to do about the food rat." And he's like, yeah, we'll figure that out after. I gotta make my morning announcements. She's like, "Oh, of course." Yeah. And he like pushes back, and some guy walks up with like slick back greasy hair, and he's like, "Oh, you got more." And he takes a swig of it. "Yeah, okay, just push them till after." And he like pushes back another curtain and exits to this stage where, 50 to 100 island residents, those who Ruth thought were worthy enough to move forward, sort of lay out, and immediately they all cheer as he walks up to sort of the podium. "Yeah, okay, all right. Good morning, everyone." And they all sort of in unison, "Good morning. Welcome to the island." And they all start clapping. Yeah. Look, there's a lot of work to get done. But before we do, should we start off with a story? And like there's a bit of laughter and people cheering. Okay. It was a challenge getting here. The cost was awfully high. Although my friends are out there still, a part of them did die. Here we have a peaceful life, relatively speaking. We can drink and laugh and sing and fuck with those who came here seeking. The long and winding road rolls on. The path moves up and down. The end is not the end, it seems. At least not in this town. Let's have a good day, guys.
Fuck you!
Fuck you too. And he turns around and waves off and pushes between the two to continue on his mayorly duties.
That's the end of Apocalypse World, ladies and gentlemen.
Good ending.
Amazing job, you guys. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Mayor Hex.
Excellent. Great.
Oh my god, it is so much. It is so much fun to tee up Harlan to like tell a story, do something,
That was
and
great.
then watch his face change to be like, "Give me 30 seconds to write a poem."
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just like,
I literally
difficult.
wrote in the chat, Harlan, maybe you want to take us out with a storytelling sesh? That was 4 minutes
you
ago.
Can see my face be like, oh.
no, it's so good. You can find those moments, and even the one for it to come up with disenthrall, where it was like, "Oh shit, eyes go wide, cut away for a minute." Oh, so much.
I'm really happy about Disenthrall. That was pretty dope.
Oh my god,
That clicked. That definitely clicked.
I liked it.
Amazing game, Joe. Thank you so much.
Very
Yeah,
great,
Joe,
amazing
thank you so
game,
much.
Joe. What a
Thank
blast.
you. Thanks, everybody. That was a
Great
really
way to
fun
end it.
one.
That was really, really fun. Yeah, I mean, part of us, you know, we go into these things with the sort of anticipation of doing a certain number, but you know, sometimes they have a bow on them, and sometimes they feel right. And I think with the sort of improv nature of Apocalypse World, it's one that I don't think lends itself well to stretching it out, because I think we did what we needed to do. I shouldn't say lend itself well. I think we told the story that we came here to tell. That's a better way to say it.
That's a good way of saying
Yeah,
it.
because-
As Hex would say, the story's been told.
Exactly. And I think any more would just be bloat. And I think that's it for Apocalypse World. What a crazy, crazy journey.
Very fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week, I am going to take on another Call of Cthulhu solo adventure. I'm going to be doing another Alone Against. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I did Alone Against the Winter or Alone Against the Frost or something. It was fun. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. I wasn't really prepared for anything. So now that I know what it's about, I'm going to tackle this one a little differently. Might be a shorter stream. I think I ran the entire adventure twice, but I sort of jumped and kind of went off things a few times. So we're gonna do it probably one time through this time, and we're gonna make a few choices that are really good. So if you'd like to join me next Wednesday for Call of Cthulhu, Alone Against the Something, suggest what Alone Against. There's the flame, and there's the dark.
Mike Kyle said that he's played a bunch of them, right? Is
Yeah.
that right, Mike, or am I inventing stuff?
I know there is Alone Against the Dark and Alone Against the Flame. Oh, and Alone Against the Tide. I would love to do the dark. That sounds pretty cool. But why don't you guys let me know if there's any really particularly good ones? Because
Very Halloween-y.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thinking. And then next week after that, we're going to be coming back with something. We're going to figure that out and let you know, or maybe not. I don't know. It's Justin's birthday that week, so we might do a birthday game. We might not. We'll see. Silly birthday boy. Endgame XP. Anyone?
I was too busy.
Yeah. Me too. We were like writing on the fly and shit.
Why don't we give it to the person who has the most XP points? Like in Discord, how you've got like...
Ooh, everyone post their XP. Yeah, what's the command for that?
Oh, rank.
/ rank?
Exclamation
Or
point
/
rank.
rank?
Oh, I wasn't even
Exclamation
thinking
point
that, but that works. Let's do that.
I
was
don't have
thinking
a
like
rank.
when you put a post, some people can put XP as like a little like emote.
Oh yeah.
How do you do it? I failed.
40
Oh,
something.
Zia's number 1.
Okay,
Easy.
Zia wins XP. Is she actually number
Zia.
1?
Number 1, level 44.
That's hilarious.
Whoa,
I'm-
I don't even
I'm
know what level
rank
am I. How do I check
18th.
that?
You just do exclamation point rank.
I'm
198.
Invictus.
Oh, I'm 41. Ooh.
I don't think I'm gonna be that bad actually. Let's see.
Yeah, you're probably pretty good. How do you get XP?
By posting
this?
shit.
By being cool.
Oh, Nice.
Yeah, 12. Wee.
12.
Oh, you're higher than me.
Yeah, Carly's up there. Carly's number 3. Zia's number 1.
Who's number 2?
Who's number 2?
Great question.
Colin Burkhardt, maybe? Oh,
No.
Colin is number 4.
Who would be number 2?
Let's see.
It might be Colin.
Mike and Kyle's up there.
Oh,
so,
no, he's 4.
so Colin's number 4. Oh, maybe Dead Echo?
Maybe. Could be
Or
Knox.
Knox? Yeah.
He's been talking a lot. Anyway, Zia, you win. You're number 1.
Congratulations,
So there you
Zia.
go.
Hey!
I hope you guys enjoyed this campaign. We had a blast running it and playing it. So, and more to come. So stay tuned. Make sure you check out Dice Shame. Join that, like I said.
Oh, yeah.
$10 and up Patreons get it a week early. Otherwise, October 31st, you're going to get a few episodes up front. It might be...
We're going to load it heavy at the front so that you guys can
Our
have
plan
some stuff.
is that there will be... Should I commit to it?
No.
No. Our plan is there will be a few episodes. More than 1, less than 4. Yeah, it'll be the 1, 2, or 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how numbers
Have
work.
a wonderful night. And as my lovely gal Joe always likes to say,
It's my motherfucking bedtime.
it's your motherfucking bedtime. Good night.
Night.